Welcome to Maker Conversations. I'm your host, Tiff Marchand from NIGHTCARVER Designs, and today on the show we have Ricky.TeeVee and Lebon Restorations. That's right, we got Ricky and Justin, two of the most talented makers out there. Their craftsmanship, their creativity, and Jesus, just their personalities are unmatched. So these two guys are great. We've been friends for a really, really long time, and I have been trying to get them on the show together for over a year now. So it was really exciting to have this night happen. Morgan from Captain's Planks joined, and Patrick and Carlina from Pine Bear and Pallet Works and Sawdust Gypsy joined. It was a really fun night. I was gonna cut it and do like a Patreon special worth just like having the last 15 or 20 minutes of the conversation, but I wanted to leave everything in because it was really special. As we were talking, it was sharing tips with each other and different stories and just being giddy to have the time to talk with each other. So I left it as a whole, but I did give it to the patrons of the show 2 weeks early. So if you want goodies like really early releases or extra episodes, head on over to patreon.com/makerconversations and join. It's only $5 a month, and it really helps to have the support of the show. Speaking of supporting the show, a huge thank you to Sabretooth for sponsoring this show. They are amazing. I have been working with them on their social media, and I have been recording a brand new show called Carver Conversations for them. There's currently 3 episodes out right now, and the 4th will be with Eric Curtis, but right now there is the owner, the manager, Sadie from the Awesome Orange, Danny Kissel, and soon to be Eric Curtis. So check that out. All right, let's go to the show.
What's up?
Hey!
Hey!
That's a thick shirt, dude.
Thanks.
That's a nice hat.
All right, not bad.
Lanks is
Oh my gosh. Hey. What's up? Look at these
What's up,
sunglasses.
They know it's gonna be a full house.
I know, you're looking fresh. I know, I was the sneak up. I was the surprise. Woo.
Justin, I see my logo over there, and that looks pretty fucking sweet.
Oh, this whole thing?
Yeah, that old thing.
Yeah, some background shit.
Yeah. I was like, what's he gonna do with that? Like when you asked me for the logo earlier.
Figured, you know what? This thing is sitting around in my garage. I should make a prop.
Dude, what is that thing?
Awesome.
It's a photo booth thing. So it's like, it's got the iPad right here.
Uh-huh.
And then this is the DSLR camera. And so you just walk up to it, and like it's, you know, if it's at like an event, like a wedding or something, your guests come up to it, and the iPad's already set up for the photo booth mode, and they just come up to it and take their picture. It has a little countdown. And then down here, there's a little printer. So it's all wireless, and it just prints up their photo.
Are you renting it out?
I was gonna ask the same thing, man.
My clients are the smart ones. They actually reached out to me, commissioned me to build that, and then they're going to launch their business as soon as it's done.
That was a
Oh,
bitch.
nice.
Yeah, so it's cool though. I mean, I think I could pitch it again I'm in the Bay Area, so we have a bunch of these folks that are doing all these like pop-up things since COVID. And this is not an original idea. This is something that they found, and they said, hey, I need a builder to make this. So that's where I got involved. But I added my little 2 cents here and there.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you tweaked it. It looks
A
awesome.
little bit. Thanks.
Yeah.
Gotta get Andrew to make one of those for his thing.
Dude,
Fucking Buvarios, or whatever the hell it's called.
he was, I went over there. He was asking if he
I
could
saw that.
rent it out. I was like,
I love that, dude. I'm jealous.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for you to creep in. You never did on those comments.
Yo, let's just talking like just between the two of us.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Oh.
Morgan and I could just sit and relax and enjoy the conversation.
Look at your setup, Tiff. You're looking good, man.
Yeah.
It's fresh. She's a pro.
It's looking nice, right? I know. I am a professional podcaster now, and it feels so awesome. I love it.
I'm
Dude,
so
rad. You have the
So
perfect
cool.
voice for it.
Thank
Perfect
you.
personality.
Thanks. No, I recorded last night with this guy named Danny Kissel, and he like won Outrageous Pumpkins on the Food Network, and he travels around doing all kinds of like ice carving, sandcastles and stuff. And I like after the interview, I go up to my husband and I'm like, I'm a professional podcaster, motherfucker. Like I was just like, you know, after I did it, because I was like, that felt so good. And like, and that conversation was so fucking good. He also shared all of my favorite things, like horror movies and all that. So it was like really easy to talk with that guy. But yeah, it felt good. But like, how are you guys all doing? Like, I actually interviewed all three of you, which is really cool, and all probably around a year or so apart, some sooner. And everyone's life is so much different. I think everybody's grown so much over that time. Like, you're going to California and doing installations. I'm sorry, I'm pointing like you guys are in the same order on everyone's screens.
I don't know.
I'm like boom, 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 boom. But like seriously, Ricky, like how cool was that? Like traveling across, like doing an installation where you're building something and then you have to travel and install it.
I mean, it was wild. It was like one of those things you just didn't think would be even possible, let alone happen, you know?
Yeah.
But it was a fucking blast. You know, me and Lizzie drove it across together and set it up and went back with Dakota for the grand opening and went to Disneyland. And it was like fucking, I mean, it was amazing. It was a major milestone.
Yeah.
And I have
that store turned out amazing.
Did you go? Why don't you go check it out in person? You're right there.
Yeah, I should go check it out. I've been meaning to go check it out. I think
Come
it
on,
started like,
Morgan.
I don't know why I haven't. I don't really make my way to downtown LA. I'm in like a peninsula area off the side, and I don't like to make my way to like the city too much, but I do want to go see it. And I want to get these like jumpsuits she has there. They're fucking so cute. Take them to Canada.
There you go. More the reason.
Yeah, more the reason to go. Now I got to go before what? Tuesday?
We see the
What's
same thing.
Tuesday?
She's leaving.
Going to Canada.
Where? Sorry, I don't know anything, to be honest, guys. I'm like,
I haven't posted or said anything anywhere. I'm going to Canada for 10 days or something like that. I don't.
oh, sick. To see Christina?
Yeah, I'll be there with Christina and Jocelyn.
That's killer. That's great. Is that the first time you guys all met together in person?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
It's gonna be a blast.
I'm
Yeah, we have
stoked.
a lot of
It's during my birthday, so we're just gonna go and like see around. I'm gonna visit a few brands and like we're just gonna hang out.
Oh, that's killer.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I'm stoked.
A little business mixed in there. Why not?
Yeah, why
I
not?
feel like I'm listening to the podcast.
I was gonna say that Justin's just so relaxed,
Yeah,
just
just start
watching the
working.
show.
Just feel like I'm listening to the podcast, man. This is like all the homies. This is like our hangout station you guys created.
Yeah.
Hangout station. Hell yeah. I feel like it was easier probably for you, Tiff, too, to like jump back into it without a definitive partner by
Yes.
bringing new people into it. And so
Yeah.
it just eases it a little bit. It makes it feel a little.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of fun too to listen, you know.
Yeah. Have you listened to a few of them?
Oh yeah, I've listened to them all so far.
Oh,
You've
dude,
only had, like
thanks.
4 or so, right?
Yeah. Number
That's
5
Spotify.
comes out Saturday.
Yeah, I listened to all 4 of them.
Thanks, man.
But yeah, I was gonna recommend definitely just like going
Some-
forward when you can. One-on-one is like
One-on-ones. Yeah.
crisp. Yeah.
It is nice. I was fearing it, but now that I'm doing it with Sabretooth, it's like, okay, this is nice. This is like just a chill hangout session.
Yeah, and you can carry it. You can carry it. You can carry it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about. Yeah.
Yep. No, I don't need anybody else to ask a question.
Mhm.
I've gotten really good at that. I still feel like Justin's watching the show.
Who's doing great? What was that?
Justin, how's being a new daddy? I know you already had one, but
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Mom's doing all the work.
yeah.
I mean, she's feeding every 2 to 3 hours and baby sleeps. But yeah, it's like those middle of the night jabs when you got to go clean something. I love it. It's my favorite part. I want to do it every day. I wish every day was like that, So that's the only like thing is the sleep part, but you get used to that after your first kid. You're totally conditioned. I mean, as far as like getting up in the middle of the night a couple of times, but
Yeah, because your other daughter is still young, so you're
Yeah,
still.
how old is
2.5.
How old
That's
is
the
Camden?
hardest part. Huh?
How old is Camden?
She's 2.5. So right now her whole thing is we're just in
Yeah.
that early stages, like post pregnancy or delivery. My wife had a C-section, so she can't pick up my other baby at all.
Mhm.
And so that's just been a little bit of a transition, but it's cool. We just go to bed at 6 o'clock and you know,
How is Camden's sleep? Does she sleep? Is she sleep trained and all that
she's
stuff?
so good. We put her in her jammies, and when it's lights out, by the time we get to that stage, but she turns the lights off and she's within a few seconds, she's like, all right, I'm ready for a nap. But we started training her young, which is perfect because for the most part, I can put her down between 7 and 7:30 and I can be back in the garage, and I hardly ever have to turn the monitor on. But when we started this when she was really little. I don't know how it started, but we started playing Marco Polo. She started talking when she was very little, like before she was 1. So we played Marco Polo all the time throughout the house because she thought it was hilarious. But now, ever since she's learned how to talk, when she gets up from a nap, she says, Marco Dada! From upstairs. So I can hear Marco Dada. It's such a fucking funny thing.
That's fucking
It's
so
funny.
good.
But she does it on the babysitters. She's like, it's so out of context for the other kids that are there, but she's like, Marco Terry! So funny. But yeah, she's good. She's a good kid.
That's great.
Yeah.
I never want newborns again, but
Oh, fucking me either.
yeah.
Me either. I'm done with that shit. So done with
It's
that.
it's like you survive it.
Yeah. And especially you. I mean, twins. Like, I
Yeah.
can't even imagine. I can't even imagine.
I was talking about this earlier. It was like seriously hell. I'll just admit it. It was.
Dude, I don't know how you guys do it.
Yeah, I had to
Imagine
beg
that, dude. Imagine
relatives to hang out with me. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
No more.
No.
I can't picture 1, not even, let alone 2. No.
Yeah. No, it was rough. It was very rough. I mean, it's still rough, but at least now they can talk. They can go to the bathroom by themselves. So you know what I mean? Like, it's like, just go do that over there.
Oh God, I love that. Like, especially in like the
Yeah.
like now I'm gonna get to the point where she just like she gets in the car by herself. You know, I don't even have to open the door and put her in and put the seatbelt on. I'm just like, you know, she puts
The
herself.
fact that I have this 1 hour right now is fucking crazy.
I knew you were gonna be in a loopy like
I reminded my wife about
whirlwind
3 hours ago what time this was going to take place, and she's like, "Oh, that's good."
right during dinner.
Yeah, right
Cool.
during
So what's
bedtime.
cool? I ran around the block a little bit with her, but yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's when she turned about 1.5 is when I was more independent with her, but it's like it's all gone again.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it'll come back. It's just gonna be a rough year or so.
Yeah, and 3 and 4 is like the best. You know.
Yeah. Well, they start getting that more independence and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, like
Yeah.
right now, 5 and 7, like 5, 6, 7, the independence is great. Like she's just my little buddy now.
Yeah.
But they're the cutest when they're 3 and 4. Like that's when they're like peak, like
Yeah.
cute baby.
It's true. Yeah. No, I feel for you, man. You'll get through it.
It's cool. Just running around a lot of chasing. I can't leave the house with flip flops on because she just takes off. And I'm just like, oh, shin splints.
Every time, right?
And I'm like, "Ugh!" Like, yeah, she's a runner.
He straps on his New Balances and he goes outside. Let's go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotta get the dad shoes on.
Yeah. Yeah, the lace ups, man. It's either those are lace up or I got the slide on sandals. And it's like the in between. It's just like, damn, when she books it, it's like, fuck, man. Because she doesn't look for cars. We live on a private road where she doesn't have to look for cars, but it's like still, it's like she doesn't fucking look for cars. She just jets down the street and we're just like, doesn't mean anything. It's absolute craziness until she goes to bed. Like there's so many highs and lows of like emotions between my wife and I. I'm just like, this good to she's an angel.
Yeah. Every day. Every day. I sympathize and understand.
Yeah.
Go parenting.
Yeah.
No, but no, I agree with Ricky though. 6. My kids are 6 now, and they're becoming little buddies. I actually was noticing it today. Like, I'm like, oh, I've got hangout buddies now. Okay, I
Yeah,
like this. Yeah,
they're
I'm like,
just
this
like
is cool.
friends. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like little homies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
have Enzo, and I don't think he'll ever get to that like 6-year-old independence. You know,
Independence.
he's just a shithead.
Yeah, that's what kids are.
So when you hang out, when those other kids hang out, do you like get involved, or are they just in their own little world?
Oh, what?
The 6-year-olds. Is it
Wow.
like, or do you let them like do their own thing?
I kind of like ignore her a lot. And she's over the years, she's learned to play by herself a lot. And she'll get in her own little games, and she'll do a lot of times when I'm driving the car, she'll be like, Daddy, I want my quiet time. And then I'll catch her like there's still the toddler mirror in the car, and she like loves talking to her like reflection and like acting.
That's so funny.
So she gets all into that, and like put on some Taylor Swift, and
You're all set. I say I have 2, so they're just always just either having the best time ever together or they're fighting. It's either one. Yeah. Or those dream times where they're just ignoring each other and they're on their tablet. That's a nice one.
Or at least they play together. That's what like
Yes.
thinks about Coda. She's got
Yeah.
it's just me and her. So it's
Yep.
I doesn't feel like playing those games anymore.
Dude, she has the biggest personality. She's so funny on your stories and all the videos you edit of her. Like, she's hilarious. She's gonna be like a little star on her own.
Oh man, she's got a major crush right now too. She's starting to crush.
Oh yeah.
I saw in your story she was like calling somebody 3 times or something.
Yeah, that was the crush. I mean, she wasn't calling anyone, but we caught it the other day. She was up. Lizzie had her for like the weekend, for like the first time they just hung out together for a day.
Nice. Yeah.
And they were just drawing and stuff and hanging out with another little girl. But then I went up to pick her up, and I saw a note on the table that was like, Dakota's handwriting and stuff. And it was like, I have to tell Ethan that I have a crush on him and all this stuff that she was writing while everyone else was there, just like lost in her diary.
No shame. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I have to tell Ethan. That's
I'll
cute.
never forget that story when she cut her hair. That shit.
Oh yes.
That's coming up on a year right now.
Is it?
That was like May 1st, I think.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a fucking nightmare.
I'm sure.
I'll never forget. I rewatched those stories so many times. I remember
Oh, that
it too
was-
because I was just like, no.
It was insane because I never told the story, right? On anything.
Mm-mm.
It was just it was a 10-minute drive. I picked her up. It was nighttime. She was in the back. I'm just driving, like listening to music. And then we get to the house. I look back and she's like sleeping or pretending to sleep. I go to get her out of the car. I lift her up, and I noticed like, briefly, like her hair looked weird, but then I looked at the seat and there was just a pile of hair. And it looked almost like an animal. Like it was like super weird. And then I looked at her and she had this awkward smile with like just like 2 pieces of hair left. And it was all gone. And then I looked in the fucking toy bin we have in the car, and all her long, beautiful hair was sitting in the fucking toy bin.
I just to keep going, like you do that first cut, that's shocking enough, but she kept going like
Without me even noticing.
Yeah.
She cut
Yeah.
all of it off, all the way around,
Wow.
without me ever noticing. And the scissors, nobody knows how they even got in the car. Like there was some weird thing at school where she said, I think she stole them from school or something. Like it was, I don't know how like premeditated this was.
I was gonna say this sounds like a plan she had.
It was scary as a parent, because it was one of those moments. It was like the first moment you realize I have zero control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I have no control over what she does ever, and it was like frightening. And I didn't know if she was like acting out in a way where it was kind of like some like deep psychological shit or something, or whether it was just like kids being kids. And then so like I was furious too, because I loved her long hair. But then like the next morning when she was explaining it, first of all, she didn't care at all. I was pissed and she was crying because I was like pissed, but she was just like, like whatever, dude. Like I don't care.
Back. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next day, anyway, she was talking about it, and she was like, it looks like the girl from the music video or whatever. And then I was like, what music video? And then I clicked that Katy Perry music video that we watched a lot at that time, where she like goes into the army, whatever, and she cuts all of her hair off. So that's probably what did it, obviously.
I think you did share a video where you had the music video playing and she said like, because of the music videos, and I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. That was a good edit.
Oh.
That was a good idea.
But I could see
Yeah,
that.
that was good Ricky.TeeVee, man.
Totally,
I tuned in.
It was fucking tragic. And it's just now getting to the point where it's like, it's kind of like, it's shorter than mine, was a little shaggy. It's like, oh, I miss, because it's not like her personality changed, but she always has that edge, and her like long, beautiful hair made her seem like super girly, but then she had this edge.
Yeah.
And then she just went like instant tomboy in like a day, you know? It's weird.
So it happened so fast.
That's what I said.
We were talking about that though, your edits before the podcast. We were talking about your video edits, Ricky, and then Justin, we were talking about how good your photos always are. You guys are like both like,
oh, they are. And
yeah, Justin just blew up, huh?
I know. I'm so excited for
Congrats,
him.
brother.
Yeah.
You know what, man? It's like Instagram, like you always say, like the spigot. It's like they just kind of opened it up. It's weird. Honestly, I'm getting like a follower a minute.
Oh man, and it's still going, right?
Still going. I'm at 16,
great.
I think, right now.
It's crazy.
yeah, it happened when it happens quick and it's rolling. It's just like nonstop.
Yeah, like I have well, what's good about it, I'm very thankful, is that I do make a lot of reels and I remix a lot of videos, but I try to keep it like geared towards my work. I try not to be super goofy because I'd love to be, but it's like I'm trying to sell my services. So it's like I try to kind of align that. But it's just like I mean, Ricky, come on, like how much can you throw at the internet at everybody?
Yeah.
How come it doesn't latch on? And I feel like the things that I talk about are like, so the topics are so broad, like they can be for every person, any home. But anyway, it just seems like all of a sudden it just like went off, and the one reel like is going, but I have like 2 or 3 that are kind of going too. But when I go to my likes, people are going like deep and they're like liking really random stuff. So it feels like a bunch of my stuff all of a sudden is just like kind of like being
fed out there
like, across like all the other states for some reason. It's super weird. I'm getting messages from like Netherlands and Africa. And
It's
Yeah,
really,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy, guys.
Splanks knows about it too. You've been on that train for a while, right?
Yeah, it happened. I hit 10K in November, and that happened in like two days. I went from like 2,500 to 10K or something like that, like 3,500. And then once I hit 10K, it was like steady, and I stayed at 19 for a while. And then I think I just hit like 28. But when they get picked up in a cycle, they just go. And I mean, no matter what it is, if like when you find your own little fucking niche for your corner, like whatever it is, like I'm goofy and that shit works for me. The numbers translate. My wait list is 10 months. It goes out. Like the numbers translate for me. For you are more polished and you're funny in your own way, and all of your photos, everything's very professional and like pristine. So that matches you. And when people find that and they're going to follow you, they're going to engage with that. They love that. And now that's your brand, right?
That's the dopest thing about Instagram, in my opinion, is, and I try to explain this to every old man that comes up to me and says, how do you get business? It's like, well, people on Instagram just find shit that's geared towards them. And if they find me, and if they're on that thought process, like chances are, if they're already finding me, they already like my shit.
Yeah.
So
I don't know that you even need to find like the audience. This shit's a lottery game, once they turn you on, you're on, until they turn you off. And I noticed that like, I would be really more upset than I'm upset with Instagram, but I'd be even more upset if I didn't have TikTok, because I got all that from TikTok quick. I started it this time last year, and it's already up to 60K. And it happened fast. And I noticed that like all the recommendations people give you, like, oh, make sure you're doing trending music, make sure you're doing this, find your niche. Like I haven't done any of that. And my TikTok has succeeded. So it's kind of like, I don't think you need to, once you're on, you're on. And
I think also too, like if you're just super genuinely yourself, like whatever that is, just being you, people are going to tune into that authenticity. over your other like the other guy is just doing the same bullshit that everybody else is doing.
I agree with that a
Doing whatever
lot
you wanna
because when
do.
I tried to be a little more polished and reserved and more like a brand, and it didn't work for me in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I was very slow growing. I didn't get business. And then when I came out and I was just on my bullshit like I am,
Yeah.
it took off and I turned on. And then Ricky, I can't do shit on TikTok. I'm at like 40 followers and I don't even understand how to grow over there. So I feel like everybody's
Well, and
they
I
find
haven't
you, they like you.
The
And,
faucet, it's they can.
they turn you on.
You go, you
Yeah.
get turned on or not. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be cocky, but I know my fucking shit is solid. So like on
It
Instagram,
is.
when I'm not being turned up, there's something going on there. And
Sure.
it doesn't matter really what it is, but it's like, it's not about me finding an audience. Like you show me to anyone and there's the fucking audience. You know what I mean? Like it's there.
Like,
Dude,
I haven't
out of
even
everybody, you
posted.
should be the closest to 100K. I mean, being honest, I'm being straight up. Your stuff is so wild, so out there. You're so insanely talented, and you use so many different mediums that it's not. There's, like you said, it's not about finding your audience. You show anybody your work, they're going to be impressed. So it's like, I agree 100% with that statement. You please the algorithm gods, get down on your knees, and they'll turn the faucet on and.
Well, it's just funny though, because like I haven't even been posting. I kind of took a gargantuan note from Sandlot, and he just said like I didn't even post, and I got all these whatever follows, and it wasn't like I was taking that into account, but all of a sudden like I wasn't posting, and then all of a sudden I got a bunch of activity, and I was just like, well, fuck me.
So you had a bit of like a lull, and then you posted that one, and then it blew up.
No, it's pretty consistent. Like I would pretty consistently put reels together, and like within a week or so, I was trying to do like 1 or 2 a week within reason, you know.
So you
But
took
the
a
one that
break
took
and then you
off-
started.
Yeah,
again.
but the one that took off was like posted a month ago. You know, like
and
instantaneous.
it didn't hit then.
Yeah, and then it took off like weeks later. So it's just kind of funny how that.
Yeah.
But
There's no freaking rhyme or reason.
There's no rhyme or reason. It's fucking psychotic.
that's what's annoying too,
Yeah.
because you do try to be like, I don't know. I look at everyone's accounts like yours, Ricky, and Morgan. I check yours out. Tiff, everybody. I always do. It's just because I feel like we're always plugging, and I feel like we all have our maker community. Like we're all following each other for the most part. There's got to be like 10,000 of us, give or take. But outside of that, that growth is just crazy weird. And you see the people that do a bunch of reels, because there's certain types of reels that really grab that everyday audience. And so it's kind of like a sacrifice, I think, a little bit sometimes, to like, you're going to kind of blur your message, whatever your message is. I don't know. For me, I feel like
or you
my
don't have a message.
Right.
Don't have one.
They don't even. Some of them don't even have one. Almost.
Nah, well, yeah, they just
chasing
wanna-
the, like whatever.
I just want to reel in the follows.
Yeah.
For the most part, I don't know. I feel like there's something about a quality follower that comes from like someone who's not just like fetching the gratification of a silly video. But dude, it's what the dopest thing about all these new follows I've had is like I've had hella good messages about like, hey man, I really like your work.
It's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
that's so sick. I've had so many.
Yeah, and because you have a distinct style too, like they're also like, oh man, like your stuff is great. How come you're not bigger? How come they that validation you finally like, you finally get it.
Yeah, there's certain accounts though, like I do kind of go back and forth with, and I ask like, what do you recommend? Because I see you're at like whatever, 15K. I'm struggling at 3K. Like what the fuck? And they're like, post 2 to 3 reels a week or something like that. And I'm like,
2 a
fuck
day.
that.
Yeah,
Or
2 a day.
Sometimes I post
2 a
like
day.
once a
I'm like,
fucking month,
no.
you know.
I've
No,
seriously run out
I'd
of
say
time.
everyone does theirs differently in this group. It's kind of
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll post like once a month. Like sometimes I post a couple times a week. Sometimes it's once a
How
month.
much? How many reels do? You do a reel like almost. Some days you do it once every day, right? Some weeks. Yeah.
Me?
Morgan.
No, I don't do one every day. Sometimes I'll do it like 2 or 3 days in a row if I'm like on a kick, and then usually it's like once a month, like twice a month maybe. And going back to what you guys said, you're gonna take all this time and put all this effort into something, and you hope it hits, and then the one that I had that hit 1 million. I had a couple that hit 1 million. The one that hit the highest was me putting my hair in a bun, bro, like with the hair stick. It was like 5 seconds long, and I stuck my hair in a bun, and all of a sudden I got this influx. But then there's 2 reels on each side of it with signs that I was over the moon fucking proud of.
Yeah.
And like that didn't hit the same. So it's like
I am
That
experiencing
pissed me
though,
off
like
the most.
yeah.
I am getting a little bit of love on those old reels right now, where I'm kind of like, yeah, like even though it's
Awesome.
a little bit, it's like, all right, that's cool. Getting some messages like directly from those.
I've had the opposite happen recently, where I have one TikTok that's like 1.5 million, and that was one of the ones that I edited like, fucking please, you know, and it also it hit. Like I've had 3 or 4 of those, like the mirror one too, the disco one. That one hit on TikTok as well, and it did like okay on Instagram, but it was like those are ones I spent 8 hours editing, and then when I was like, just fucking please don't, you know, don't do this to me again, and then it hit, and it was like so like
Relieving almost.
yeah, it's just lucky, because I'll have reels that I edit and they do well in the community. They always do well in the community. Everyone's so fucking supportive. They'll get 200 shares, you know what I mean? But then they'll just be stuck at like, you know, 5,000 views or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no help from Instagram. But yeah, whatever. I could bitch about that for fucking about it all night.
No, but it affects us all because, you
Yeah.
know, like all of us had very low accounts for a really long time and they weren't moving. And we all know that we're talented. I mean,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be keep going, you know, we're all awesome at what we do and we were all just stuck. So I'm excited that I'm starting to see people pop off that deserve it. It's been really
Everyone's,
exciting.
I feel like
Yeah.
everyone's popping off.
Yeah.
Like recently,
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
that I remember being like significantly below me in follower count, I look at them all now, they're all at 20K. It's like out of nowhere, like
Yeah.
this past 2 months.
Yeah.
Hey, what about those giveaways, y'all? How do you feel about that?
Wait.
I did them for a while, and
I
then
haven't done one in a long time.
I'm not really interested in them,
I
honestly.
feel like that's a quick way to drum up followers, but it's also just
An easy way to lose them quick too. I mean, they'll go once it's over.
yeah. I've never done it. I have never carved out time to actually like make something to give away.
I had a lot of fun with my 10K giveaway because I got brands involved, and it was the first one that I did like that. But
But
when
did
I've
that
given
bring
away
a lot of
signs or
followers?
anything, it's not really rewarding, and I don't know that it's going somewhere that it's appreciated. And I just sit and stew about it, like,
Yeah, because I see people doing the giveaway thing with, you know, incrementally, and I see their accounts grow, and yeah, I can't get myself to do it like that.
I've did them a few times. And the only time it really, really worked with me is when I teamed up with Faith from Wood and Sense, because we both have a very similar like color palette and stuff like that, and we're both artists. So it was like a universal crowd. Her crowd came to me,
Yeah.
which I was very thankful for. I got like 1,000 followers for that one giveaway. And then I got some sales, so it was nice.
That's cool.
But yeah, they're hit or miss. I think they, when you're really starting off small, they're really helpful to get eyes on you because you need those eyes on you,
Yeah.
and then after a while, I think it depends on who your crowd is of people that are following you. Like if you have a majority of people who are following you that are makers, sometimes it's really nice to give back to the community if you can. Like say you have other people supporting you and they're giving you product and they want you to do a giveaway. That's that's fun to do. But then if you have people who are mostly just shopping, it could be nice to give back to those following you and supporting you. So there's pluses and minuses to them. It is a nice way, especially for you, Justin. You're making products. You're trying to get local people. You could always do like a local giveaway too if you're trying to stay more local.
Sure. Yeah.
I've done a lot of work to bring myself like a presence locally because I'm so scared of just Instagram falling off.
Yeah, I know Morgan's about that too.
I think local is huge for all of us, right?
Yeah.
Or Tiff, you do local
Mine-
too, right?
No, my area, I don't know. I think it's just because I live in a city. I don't know. It's not like a big supportive area of local artists, which is interesting. But yeah, most of mine, I ship a lot, mostly Texas. Go Texas, you support me.
Nice.
Yeah, I stick mostly local. I get mostly residential. I
Yeah,
get
all my shit's local too, really.
Yeah. Well, I
I
mean,
do
you're
a
doing
ton of
buildings
local
too.
stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I really love working locally and working with businesses, and I offer them like a package to service their logos, and I kind of can keep my eye on my work a little bit better.
Yeah, that's nice.
I
I have done a lot of local signs. I lie. When I do signs, I stopped commissions though. So I feel like I have been so detached from that. But this right here, this laser is going to get me very big in the local area, I would think. And the
Nice.
products that I'm going to be making, it's going to be geared locally. Absolutely.
Yeah, I got my CNC to do more local stuff. We're in a huge fishing and art town. And so I wanted to do local markets, and I wanted to do huge fish fillet boards for the deep sea boats. And so that's
Nice.
kind of the reason I got my CNC in the first place.
Nice.
So people are always like, how do you cut out your letters with it? And I'm like, I don't. No, I don't. Cut backers.
Ask
Tiff, how
somebody
did that-
else.
Did you have some business you were working with or something? You
The
did intern-
dojo?
Yeah,
Yeah,
how'd that go?
I'm still working on it. It's they're going slow with it because there's some repairs that have to get made, and I'm not doing them because I'm just like, I'm too busy with, like somebody fell through the wall at the dojo and it has to get like a bunch of sheetrock cut out and redone. I'm like, no, I'll paint it and then we can decorate it together. But like, let me know when that wall's done because there's only one wall left.
Yeah,
It's almost fully painted.
that's fun, and that might yield some stuff. Do you want to do something like that again, or not really?
Not really for what because I'm starting a product line, so I can't be dividing myself
yeah.
up too much. But I kind of moved into the direction of social media management. So that's what I'm doing right now. I already told work that I'm quitting. So
Yes.
I finally told them I was quitting. I gave a very long notice. I said I'll be quitting in 3 months, but I still gave my notice. So
Yeah.
it's in.
I did that too
Yeah.
at the law firm. I think I gave them
Did
I
you?
gave them 3 months, and then
Yes.
COVID hit, and they were like, you can work from home. And I was like, I'll build my business. So I
Yeah.
sat at home with my computer and scrolled all day. And then
There
that's
you
when
go.
I quit. once COVID
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be sooner, but at least I gave it. And so it feels really good. But yeah, so I'm managing Workbench Con, I'm managing Haven, and then I'm managing Sabretooth. And then I also am doing the podcast for Sabretooth. So I've
That's
got
so
my
good.
steady streams of income to where I can actually leave the job and actually make my products now. So, and maybe, just hop over to Long Island, meet somebody for some bagels and just do it on a random Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Come
I
on.
know.
I'm
I
here.
know. But
How
like
far? It's only probably 3 hours or something. Not even.
2-3 hours
The
max.
ferry.
Yeah.
The ferry. That's a nice ferry.
Yeah. I just go to New Haven, hop on the ferry to see.
I like walking distance from that ferry.
But you told me it's perfect. Yeah.
That's it.
But yeah,
Come on.
bring the kids so they can cut each other's hair.
There you go. Yeah, no, it's not that. Please, I'm growing it back.
No, I know my son Chase is actually growing his hair out right now. It's a cute phase.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How long is it?
He has it. It's kind of just about here right now. It's
Little-
just getting
high
there.
feet-
Yeah.
high feet cut? All right.
But we just got it, so one side's longer. So he's gonna have a little punk haircut for a while it grows out. So that'd be cute.
Oh, yeah.
He wants
have
it
a
like your
question.
length. Oh, Morgan has a question.
No, keep talking. I'll ask, but I do
It's-
have a question.
Is it because he did a sudden hair shake? You got stunned for a moment.
Oh my God, question. No, I actually respect both of you guys insanely as artists, and you guys just I admire you both so much. So I was wondering what both of your biggest artistic influences are, just through life, anything, not even where you pull your creativity or your inspiration from, but what has influenced you the biggest artistically?
I'll take it first. I don't know. I feel like I weirdly, when I design all the stuff I'm designing and shit, I always go to Pee Wee Herman for some reason, Pee Wee's
Really?
Playhouse. Yeah, I remember things like that as a kid, super novelty places.
Mhm,
I always go to them as I always wanted to be in those places.
Mhm.
So the things I'm creating now, I want to create that big of a place, but obviously the vibe is different. But then it's also not. Sometimes when I look at the work that I actually want, whenever I get a chance to do something that it's only me, that's not for a client, it always ends up looking like some Pee Wee's Playhouse shit. So it is is that my aesthetic? You know what I mean? Is that where I'm pulling from? It's funny.
it's over the top fun. So maybe.
Yeah. And it's kind of a little, it's not so polished and everything too,
Mhm.
Yeah, there's something about Pee-wee that just gets me. I think I jokingly say that's my aesthetic, and it's kind of true.
It's so interesting because a lot of what you make, now that you say that, is very like almost interactive vibes, like that funhouse feel, but not like corny or goofy, but it has like very like,
It's true. Yeah.
you want to be.
And retro, I always pull from,
Yeah.
I can't help but like, I'm super attracted to that shit, you know? And then working here was like, I got to like tilt into something that I wasn't really, I was into 70s and 60s, but not like, I wouldn't go there myself. And this made me like really, because I rap, I'm like, as far as like ideas and stuff and inspiration, like Pinterest is, I live there, you know? We're doing a kitchen, a vintage kitchen in at the end, like starting this month. And I am just wrapped into vintage kitchens for like, I just stare at pictures and pin them to the point where like where I'm sleeping at night and I'm like envisioning like kitchen design from like the 50s, you know?
Ricky, do you have like a public account on Pinterest where you're having these boards that people can see? Because Pinterest is a huge crossover app to get followers as well. Because if
I keep them private because I don't want people to see my jobs, but maybe when they're finished,
I say release them. You should release them when you're finished, because
you could see it out. I was gonna do a post on that. Do like a post like where I show like maybe like 5 of the biggest influence pieces, and then you'll see the actual piece and you'll be like, wow, I really see those like elements. Because it is, a lot of people are like, obviously I'm talented and whatever, but it's not like I'm pulling this stuff out of nowhere. You know what I mean? There's definitely influence.
Right. You're searching.
Them. Yeah. And that's fun.
You know, on Pinterest, they should have like a little fire emblem, like when you want to set that thing on fire, like the other day when you threw all your shit in your stove and you're like, all right, done with that inspiration. Like, there you go. This pin board's getting on flames today, so you better get on that.
You know what? They have a new feature for creators. So if you did make them public, Ricky, there's some, I haven't looked into it, but there's a way where you can put your work on there, and then people who try to take a spin on it or do something like that or pull inspiration from it, they can also share their projects there. And it's like a remix type situation.
I need to do that.
Yeah. Check into it, because I'm seeing, because I'm, doing the social media for Haven, I'm seeing all the classes that are coming out, because that's this summer. So I've been preparing all the class lists and reading all this stuff and learning so much about how, Pinterest, TikTok, and Instagram all kind of like work together. And then obviously, YouTube is always a good place for you too, because you could always record a video of you talking about how you were inspired, show your Pinterest board, tie it to your model.
Just play Spotify. Every single build has a playlist.
Exactly.
Every single build.
I mean, everything that you do can be your brand, and there's ways to monetize that. So don't sleep on that. Like,
maybe I'll just hire you instead, because like I don't have enough time to be doing all that.
I know. This sort of thing. I'm gonna work myself out of a desk job into another desk job is what I'm finding I'm doing. And I'm like, stop it. But like, all these things of what I'm doing just keep inspiring me, and I'm learning so much. Like, I could put a brand deal together in 5 seconds right now if I wanted to, but I've already overbooked myself with stuff. Like, that's how I'm getting right now, and it's pretty cool. It's a nice talent.
It's a really rewarding feeling.
Yeah. I'm like, it's all working together.
And it's something you care about too, though.
Yeah.
Even though it's a desk job, it's stuff you're actually interested in, and stuff you do on your free time at work anyway. So it's like,
make it pay for me. Yeah, exactly.
That's a big job. Yeah. That's not a real desk job.
Exactly.
And you can leave whenever you want. You're like, I'm not doing shit today. I
Mm-hmm.
do that all the time. I'm like, I'm gonna, slow play the morning. Like,
I can manage your account, Ricky. That's all right. You can insult people, and I'll just do all the technical stuff behind the window.
In that dark room in the fucking purple.
Yes. Hey, I can put strobe lights going. Let's go.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, what about you, Lebon?
And I want to hear more about Justin.
Shoot, I don't even know, man. I'm just trying to finish this thing up. I've had so many projects that I picked up when I got started, and it felt like I was learning how to fly a plane and build it at the same time. It was insane. So I do have a lot of projects that I'm like finishing up that I've had on the list for a while, and I've got really patient clients too, but at the same time, I'm kind of irking every day when I'm like getting closer to these deadlines and missing deadlines, but also still, again, like clients are like, don't worry about it, you're fine. Like, honestly, whenever it's ready, but it's like, no, I need to finish this so I get to the next thing so I can get paid.
Yeah.
But it's just a few things have just taken a little longer than expected. So that's kind of a bummer, but I've just been, it's crazy. Like Tiff, we hang out more than me and some of my local friends
I know.
do.
It's crazy.
And in the last year, like shit's just gotten better, just improved the shop. I actually work from home mostly now, like the big shop in Livermore, which is like 10 minutes, 15 minutes away. I still go to, but they started doing like epoxy tables last July and they don't fuck around. My buddy Carl, I came in there one day last July and I told him I was making a table and he said, and he's a woodworker too, but he's like super low key. And he's like, oh, I'm making 10 epoxy tables this month with his help of his two friends. And like, sure enough, man, they freaking knocked him out. And I couldn't do any work in there because of all the sawdust and epoxy and whatever. So I transitioned and I started doing all my work from home in the garage, which is essentially what I wanted to do. My wife works from home too. So that was just kind of like a little tough in the beginning because she wasn't sure if she could take a phone call while I was
working.
justice,
Yeah.
you know, everything in the garage. So it ended up being like that. I don't make a ton of noise all the time. It's like certain days are process days. Most days are paperwork and drawing and design and email. And when it is time to get to work, it's, I feel like I'm only making noise like 1-2 days a week, maybe. And that's like super sporadic and spread out, but no, man, it's going good. I feel like before I even like had my account mildly take off last week, I had a couple of brands reach out and want to make connections. And I had this one laser company reach out. They reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to make it, like if I wanted a laser. And I was like, well, yeah.
Which company?
Monoport.
Oh yeah, they reached out to me too.
Yeah.
Hard to communicate a little bit with them.
They are.
A little broken with the English, but
they have an idea of what they're doing.
Yeah, they do. They do. I was gonna say that.
But it was just funny. Like they reached out to me and I told them that, you know, ideally I would want a laser, but my plan is to get one for free in some way, shape or form, or like an affiliate program. But like, yeah, the communication was a little bit tough.
Yeah.
But they were cool. I mean, they reached out back to me a couple times and the lady, whatever her name was, the one who's in charge of the US sales or whatever. She's like, I see your growth. You grew by 250 people. So I'm waiting for that bitch to check my stuff. She's like, wow, you grew by like 17,000.
Justin, just message her.
Nah, I'm good. I'm not even trying. Because they were trying to give me like a
loaner. Yeah, I said no to that too. They were trying to
give me like a 50% discount only and like some affiliate program. But at the end of the day, I was like, y'all, I told you I'm not in a position to buy a laser. If you want me to have this thing, send it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, we'll check back. And yeah, it was funny. She reached out. She's like, oh, I see you're up to 3,000 people. So that's going to be super funny. I'm so excited for her to notice my shit.
I'm excited for you.
They're just going to give it to you then. Yeah, they're going to be like,
exactly.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Cool. I don't know. Like, ideally, if I did have one, I would. What I told him was, like, if you guys give me a laser, I'm going to give you the best quality video anyone's going to give you, hands down.
No, it's true, though. You will.
Oh, my goodness. Come on.
Hi, Patrick.
Look at that guy.
Hi, Carlita.
Yeah. Oh.
I thought that was dogwood, but no.
I wasn't expecting a mustache,
stance, bro. Look at that thing.
Yeah, man.
He shaved it just for you guys.
How you guys been?
Dude, you look like you're straight
Patrick, you're hard to look at right now.
Yeah, dude, I like it. You look like
over the top.
Over
I figured
the top.
you'd like it.
Justin with the over the top reference. Very nice.
Something, man. You look like you're ready for it, brother.
Yes, exactly.
I did it. I figured this is for
Let him
Ricky.
know.
This is for Justin, you know.
Oh man. This is
Mom said it's like a real.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. That was for everyone.
That's for later.
My mom said it's a really bad porn star knockoff.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like right now.
it's kind of hot though.
It's
Yeah, how's yours? Yours looks good.
Look what I did to my lip.
Ow.
Look
did
how
you
bad
do
it
that?
is.
Oh,
I was
Oh, so
drilling.
good.
I was drilling today, and it was this. It just went boom.
Dude, you're lucky you didn't bust a
Oh.
tooth.
yeah, I saw the story. I was like, oh, that looks
It actually
bad.
hurt my tooth. Actually hurts right now. That's how hard I hit it, but it went straight through.
Yeah.
Man.
A star bit, not even a drill bit. Star bit.
Ow. It looks swollen. So how you guys doing? What's up?
That's it. We're just hanging out.
Exactly.
Let's
We're
just
hanging
get,
out.
Let's just get everyone on here. Just start popping everyone on. Like, what's
They're the last, I promise.
Was Morgan on the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, she's been sitting on this the whole time.
So Patrick was very jealous that Morgan had become the co-host for this episode, and he was really hoping to have the honor. So,
Patrick and I will fight like brother and sister till the day we die.
this is a little
Forever.
controversial. Yeah.
Yo, I'm going to that festival you guys are doing.
I'm fucking
You
going.
better come.
We're driving down. It's not far away, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not far.
It's South Jersey or whatever.
Yeah. What do you like? 3.5, 4 hours?
It's probably like 4.5 or so.
Say it's
Yeah.
5 for me. I looked it up the other day.
Justin, you driving?
September?
I'll carpool.
What is it? 24th and 25th.
Yeah, you and Morgan can carpool.
September shit.
AG will come with you. You can pick them up. Bay Area.
There you go. I'll fly up to San Francisco. Well, I'll just carpool.
I gotta sell this to my wife. So
everybody
their
up to level
daycare,
up.
what's going on?
Yeah, no, bring the kid.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring
Kids.
my kid.
Kids. Sorry,
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to have a daycare situation here.
Oh yeah, he can't do it. He's fucked.
I was
I'll
gonna say,
volunteer my sister. My sister can watch all the kids. It's fine.
There we go.
She's always the volunteer.
And we can celebrate my birthday.
so
My
this
birthday's
is-
the weekend before.
This is the double DILF episode, huh?
it
This
is a
is the
double
double
bill.
bill.
There we go.
We did talk a lot about parenting, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, what's been covered so
Ricky
far?
was on, so I could like high five him like this, like, what's up, Rick? But I'm on a vertical thing right here. I don't know where you guys are.
That's how mine
Yeah,
is
ours
right now.
keeps popping up. Whoever's talking, I don't know how to change it.
I never know how to.
Oh, mine is like a cool grid of everybody. Same
Come on,
That's how
size.
it was.
Top right hand corner, change it to gallery view.
Oh, that's
You got this.
It's not
You
fine.
got this.
Gallery view.
Gallery view. Oh, none of you guys had it on. I'm sorry.
This is
Ooh,
way
I like this. Yeah, I can see everyone now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a lot more
like the
fun.
Brady Bunch.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. You guys all had to see me
Yeah.
eating peanut butter up close. That was uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was all the way up close.
That's nothing out of the ordinary.
Are you eating peanut butter straight up on a podcast? How are you
She's
gonna
done
talk?
Everyone, every
Together.
podcast.
Been talking the whole time. Every podcast I've ever been on.
Wow. Look at her.
Yeah.
Nervous eat.
So was there any questions covered?
No, we haven't
No.
asked really anything. So Patrick,
I
ask a
asked
real
them their
question.
Creative
That's
influences.
true. Morgan's asking questions. I want to hear what
Okay.
Patrick has.
Well, you just put me on the spot. So give me
I also want to know what people do. All of us. Anybody. What does somebody do in a creative block? Because your girl is stuck.
You stuck?
yeah,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I just ride it out.
Yeah. Grind it. Just fucking
Pretty
grind
much it.
That's
Yeah.
what I've been doing. Just head down, working.
Yeah.
But
Just do
Maybe I should
something
learn-
that's not on the list. Goof off.
Yeah, goof off. Yeah, exactly. Goof off. Do something just random. Something you feel like doing. Just
yeah.
or even fuck around. Do something that sucks too.
Like skate. Go skate.
That's what he did. last week. He was so pissed off. He just like left, and I didn't hear from him.
I
He,
left
like,
in the middle of the day and went skating.
And then he came back with that fucking mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually, it's funny because I thought the episode was last night, so I shaved last night, like an hour before the episode. Yeah.
And we're sitting here, and I was like, I think it's Thursday, and he was like, no, it's now. And I log on, it's like, episode is until tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm an
And I'm
idiot.
like, all right, well, you can't put your face on the
That's when
camera.
I texted Tiff. I was like, is it now or is it tomorrow? And she's like, it's tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Dude,
saw
I
that like
like it.
long after.
Yeah, I don't read.
It's a whole
Is
vibe, that hairstyle, the mustache over there. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like it.
Like it.
Next level.
Nice.
Dave Grohl over here.
I'm kind of curious though, Morgan, are you on a creative block on a certain project or just in general?
A couple projects, kind of what you were talking about, Justin, like some things are just sitting longer than they should for me.
Yeah.
That is unfortunately not due to anything other than creative blocks. You know, I just kind of sit, I get to a certain point with things. I have one sign, everything's scrolled. Carlene and Patrick sent me their part. Andrew sent me his part. Everything's done. All I got to do is paint it. But the person picked colors that I kind of want to change.
So change them. Talk to the
So I
client.
need
man.
to change them, but
Yeah.
instead I just sit there like, I'm going to do this one. And so now I have a mallet that I need to carve. And I'm just like,
I've had that
So-
happen to me where it's
You can't
sparked
like
out.
talk them in the direction that you would like to go.
I'm going to try, but it's he's stuck on these. The blues are all very similar, like very, very close. And I don't think it's going to do anything to be on the back together. So I want more like groovy colors. It's supposed to be retro vibes. So I like threw oranges, I threw blues, I threw green, I threw all these really sick colors. And he wants like, it looks more nautical colored to me, you know, like
Okay.
very. And I don't think it'll look good with the black acrylic and then the white letters that he wants. So I want to sway the letters. I want to change the letters.
Fucking A.
Ugh, I fucking hate clients.
Dude, I had this client. I had this client a few months ago. I did this sign blade for like this farm, double-sided. Gave him a pretty good deal on it, but like my biggest regret, for whatever reason, I sent them a sneak peek, and for whatever reason, she started thinking it looked a certain way, and she wanted to change it a little bit of like how it was going to be painted. Like basically, I wanted to have it to look like it was carved out of a solid piece of wood. So I just scroll sawed out the letters on 1/4 inch MDF, and I put it on top of 3/4 inch cedar. Blah 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 blah. When it was all said and done, the top layer was blue, and then like the 3/4 layer in the back was white. And this lady was like, "The letters are too dark. Like you need to paint the inside edges of the letters." But it's like at the end of the day, it totally lost the 3D effect from like the scroll saw, because like it had like the play on shadows and all this shit.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, dude. Within like half a second, I was like, never again will I share a sneak peek.
Yeah.
Because
I've
been
like,
tough.
I could have presented it at the end and she could have had her words or whatever, but I think she would, I don't think it would have been a thing. I think it would have been like a non-issue if it was glued, hung up in the daylight. You could see how the light plays off of something. And like,
Yeah.
dude,
Mhm.
I could
I
totally
don't
see
share
it was
sneak
blue
peeks
paint.
either.
I mean, at that point, did you do like a full on like video chat with her so she
Oh
could
no,
see it?
he had me, dude. This was like, I was basically texting her sneak peek photo to get final pay. Like I'm
Okay.
done.
A
I
way
just
to
gotta do one
contact her,
step and it's done. Send me the money kind of thing. And she's like, "Ooh, could you do this and this? And then you know what? Why don't you just stop? I'll come to you on Monday." So it was like a Friday, and then I had to wait till Monday. She came to the shop, looked at it, then we did whatever she wanted, and I was just like, "Fucking never again." But it's just that it's the terms and conditions that I'm learning in the beginning.
Yeah.
Way down.
I've been lucky doing the big projects because I only have one client for like a month or 2 months, 3 months. That's like fucking key.
Yeah, you're like next level when it comes to clients, I feel like.
I'm getting super lucky, but it's also because like they're big enough where the project's big enough where I can get paid well enough for like, 2-3 months worth of work, where I can be a little bit picky. Like right now I'm in between, and I have Lizzie. I always work here for like, whatever. But so I can pick each client and be really fucking picky, and then
Yeah.
I get the ones that just really, really, really want me to work for them and just don't care. And I, I'm kind of like a brat about it. And if they accept those terms, then it's go time,
That's
Yeah.
awesome though to
Makes
have
sense
that.
though.
I don't
Yeah, I
have
feel
to
like
show them 3D drawings. I don't have to do nothing but say like, trust me. And I end up making models and mock-ups because that helps me too. But my last fucking 3 or 4 clients have been amazing.
Ricky,
Yeah,
are
I mean,
they?
if you're lucky enough to have people that can see and trust all of your process, because we're lucky enough that we have this free Instagram tool to broadcast all of our shit.
Yeah.
And make all these fun videos. But man, that last thing you just posted was insane. I love that TV that you did with that
Mhm.
paneling to get that 3D look.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I just hung it up at the bagel place. She was such a great client. They're such great clients. It's exactly the type you want. Just like,
Right.
you know, in every way. So I'm just fucking lucky. I've just been like super lucky, but it's also because I've kind of like forced it in a way. Like I've had clients that seemed like a little much, and I just said, no, I don't feel like doing it. You know.
I think you're gonna attract that. You're just gonna keep attracting that, and you're gonna keep pushing away all the other shit.
The
I feel like
downside about being exposed on Instagram though is I'm also showing the process, and I do a lot of like, oh, I'm trying this fucking thing and it doesn't work, and they're watching that too. So that's like a whole nother game where a lot of times I kind of like trap myself because they're watching my process.
Yeah, I just got a guy messaging me right now asking me where my designs are.
Yeah, I would see you were doing the other thing. Like it's like fuck my dick.
Yeah,
Oh, I hate
I just
hate
think of
that.
Justin with the table and you're hiding and stuff in between jobs. That was pretty great. Ricky,
It
for
is like a
you. Oh, sorry.
go.
One second. Because he lives in such an area that has a lot of places, a lot of restaurants and things like that. Are you actively scouting out in that area now, or are you letting people come to you? Because I'm super curious about it.
It's all come to me now.
It's all
It's like a celebrity maker at this point.
I
mean,
know.
look,
I mean, there's people who I like Lizzie here. I hunted her down. Like, there's people who I aimed at. There's definitely a guy who's like a talented designer his place over there is fucking amazing. He got like a hotel and stuff. I want to work with him, and I've told him that, and we've had the back and forth, and so I am chasing him a bit, but most of the rest come to me, and I do a lot of like, I don't respond to emails. Like there's a lot of chasing, but you know, then I could pick one person, 3 months worth of work, like, you know. And I don't do orders. I don't do like, okay, you're next and you're next. It's like, I'll tell someone I'm working with them, and then something new will come up, and I'm just like, I'm doing that. You know, it's kind of like shitty, but it's great for me.
I'm over here like, oh, I'll share my build list with some of my clients. Like, look, you're number 5. But then I'm like, I can't step outside of the box there. And then I put myself in a position where I feel so fucking guilty.
I would never put people on a numbered list. I would always just be like, okay, we're backed up like 8 months.
Yeah.
So once you put your half down, once you give me that, like, you're on this list. It could be 8 months, could be 9 months, could be 6 months.
Yeah.
I could fit you in sooner. You know,
that's exactly how I do mine too. I take a deposit, it locks you in my queue. And then when I get to that queue, if it's over a $500-$600 order, I'll offer you like you can pay it in 2 if you want to. You can pay me half up front. You can pay me half when I finish. If not, I take full right when I start, because I've been screwed over a couple of times. I have one girl, she didn't give me half payment. I let her logo sit till she was ready and could afford it. And now she has a whole new logo.
Yeah.
That's a while.
And she's like, what do we do? Well, you pay again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love your logo on fire.
Yeah. So right now it's like 9-10 months, but I'm like, I have these things sitting that haven't been fully paid on too. So I had to like learn that through trial and error. And
you guys' lead time is making me feel pretty good. So you're saying 10 months, and then you were saying 8 months, more or less. But like, I just kind of was blindly saying in the beginning 3-4 months, and then that just fucking went so quick.
Yeah.
I say like 4 to 6 months, but now I'm really realizing it is like 6 months to a year. Like, and
even
like, I wish I could control it.
It gives you some cushion, because clients can be really like cutthroat. They're like, well, it's to the date. And it's like, well, you're still on the list and I didn't even start it yet.
Yeah, it's usually like 2 weeks before they hit me up, and then the week before they hit me up, and then the day of they hit me up, and I'm like, I ain't starting it. Like, if you guys could stop texting me, maybe I'd have more time.
That's all terms and conditions, man. Just getting that wording down, and then that way you can just, like how Ricky does. However, he does it in his own little sassy way, where he can just be like, yes, I will do it. And I remember this from forever ago, but you were like, don't take offense to me not talking to you, because I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not ignoring you on purpose, but you know.
If you're honest up front, and maybe it's just kind of like, I don't know, like there's a New York vibe where you can just kind of be like super fucking honest to people, you know, and people respect that. So
I think it's an East Coast thing.
Yeah, it's an East Coast.
I do the same
thing. Aggressively honest, and they're like, all right, and they just take it for what it is.
And I think it also comes across as more business professional.
Yeah, and you could also be kind of a dick too. That's the fun part. You can jokingly say what you want to say, where you would have to say it politely in California. You could be like, dude, just get off my fucking back, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's a joke, but it's also not a joke. You're also telling you off your back and they take it, you know?
Yeah.
I've had a hard time with that at first, Justin. Telling people that I was more than like 3 months booked out. I didn't know how to do it. And it was actually Christina who told me like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago or something. She was just like, if people want your work, they're going to buy your work. Make a fucking list. Make a list. It needs to be 6-8 months out if you expect to go full time, if you expect, you know, blah, 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 whatever. So we had that talk and I was so scared of doing it at first. And I started telling people the truth. Like Ricky said, just being straight up, like, yo, I'm probably not going to get to you for 6-7 months, but let's lock you in. We'll get to you when we get to you, whatever. And sometimes I'm a little behind on that and people respect it. I mean, it sucks to say sometimes, but the honesty, like they're like, cool, whatever.
I'm definitely shooting to give that like long slack of time to, like, you know, not to scare them away, but to be realistic. But I also want to, part of me is like, I want to overachieve. I want to get this to them early and I want to, you know.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You could free yourself up by just saying because it's like expectations management. If you tell them it's going to take 12 months and they're like, and then it takes you 9, they're like ecstatic. But if you tell them it's going to take you 8 months and it takes you 9, they're fucking pissed off at you.
Yeah, it's insane.
Same amount of time. Yeah.
And half the time, like, I'll tell them and it'll be like a yes or a no. And like, sometimes it's like, okay, like you don't, if they don't want it to wait, then it's not worth it. And it's kind of like a weight.
Yeah, you don't want those clients anyway, if they're not willing to wait for your art.
Exactly.
You know?
And it frees you up. It frees up your like tension and, you know, just to be like, just out there, you know, and open about it and free from those clients.
I understand the struggle though, too, because, you know, people want you to be on their time limits because they have a special occasion. But you have to get used to not caring about their time limits and just express yours. Because it is hard. I know. Especially when I was taking customs. Oh, they're getting married on this date, so I'm going to need to buy this so I can get it out there in time. And I'm like, can you make that work? And, you know, you have to sit there and like, am I going to prioritize that over my life? Because that's what it ends up being. It ruins like the time that you're supposed to be having fun with your kids. Because you're sitting there like, I got to get back in the shop. I got to get back in the shop. I have to get this order out. So
especially
that's why I stopped. Yeah, wedding stuff. Yeah, it's tough.
Crazy. Like I will not take any more like spring. I'll take the fall wedding stuff, and fall I'll take this because like that's the seasons. I will not take any more spring stuff. Like,
any last minute stuff, like fuck that.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's like I'll do it for like family and friends, but I won't take anybody else. I'm like, sorry, I'm not taking.
I stopped doing the same thing because I'm just like, I $100 rush order, cool. People pay it. You're still stressed out. That $100 is gone. Cool, great.
It's not worth.
Now I'm pissed off, and I fucking have to rush this goddamn order, and I made what $100 extra. Like I'm done with those two.
And you're dealing with a bridezilla.
Yeah, you're dealing with a psychopath who wants the insides of their letters painted.
Yeah.
It's funny, we were talking about like wait times. The mini dining room table I'm working on currently, the guy put half down last March.
Yeah. I don't feel as bad as my stuff right now. Yeah. I look back at I think this guy, they put their deposit down in, I think it was June last year.
Jesus. Yeah.
I have a sign that I have from June of last year too, still on my workbench. I'm like,
but now, do any of you guys, I know you don't, Ricky, but do you guys have anything set up on your website where it's like custom orders? I think you do, Morgan.
Yeah.
So we're trying to lead more towards that direction with signs and with like custom table orders. That way you could almost, I don't even have to talk to you. You pick what you want. And
that's what they do on mine. They just type in the note section what they want. They buy the deposit. And I was telling Carlina yesterday when we were talking, I see those sometimes come through, and if it's something out of my, like, there's certain things I don't do. I don't really get into the religion thing. Okay. There's sign makers that will, so I'll refund those or whatever. And I don't have to talk to anybody because I just see the note section there like, yo, not something I want to do. So
yeah, like that's like what was my fear, was doing that and not being able to talk to the customers first, because I was like, there's some things that I just don't want to do and I turn it down. And like knowing that I can refund it is like, I feel better about that. And like that's like less you have to talk to.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm talking to people all day.
And
I
just did 2 weeks worth of like work and research for these like giant signs for this company, and I was so stoked about it. Sent them the invoice and everything, and it was like an acrylic big circle one, and then the big like
One was 12
sign.
foot long and 4 foot wide.
Wow.
And I sent them the invoice, and it's been 2 weeks. And I haven't heard back from them.
Yeah. And
Like not even like I'm sorry, like that's out of our price range, or I'm sorry, that's not the
I
angle.
started just telling people, hey, I'll give you a ballpark idea of what we can do together. It's gonna probably be a ballpark of this amount, and you need to place a deposit, or you need to pay half or whatever, so that we can move further with the design process. Cause I was getting so screwed over with that so bad all the time.
Yeah.
Like full mock-ups out, and then I never hear from a person again. And I'm like, wasting
Yeah,
time.
like do you guys do that? Do you guys like even before, like if you know you're doing like a big order or something, do you take like a deposit before you even start doing all the research? Because I did
Only
2
done it
weeks worth of
once.
work and I didn't pay for any of it.
I had a guy that was interested in the custom Big Pleasanton sign, and he didn't really know if it was feasible or how it would look. And I was like, $150, I'll sketch it up on SketchUp. That
Yeah.
would be a full rendering.
Mhm.
And that was just insurance for him to want to go forward.
well,
But that
plus
Yeah.
your skills on SketchUp are ridiculous.
Yeah, let's be honest.
that's just a YouTube video, man. That's just like a couple of YouTube videos. I taught my cousin from Texas how to do it. No offense to, I'm not trying to downplay anybody out there in Texas, but he figured it out like that.
Fucking Tiff's bread and butter.
Yeah, I know, right? Those are my people. They love
No,
horror art.
Lizzie's from Texas.
Is she?
I know it was just that one time, but like otherwise, as far as like big stuff goes, like Ricky, what do you do when? Do you just say?
I'm
this
living the
is-
dream. I'm
He's
living
a
the dream.
fucking
man.
cowboy.
I'm doing fucking time and material on all these.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm like, we'll start off with a deposit for material, but then after that, it's like I'm clocking my hours, and that's you're paying for my hours, like
How
whatever
are
they
you
end up
clocking
being.
your hours? How do you do that?
What do you mean?
Do you just keep a legend? Or,
Yeah, so it's really, and I put them on a note, but what I try to do every morning to and every night to keep it going is pictures. Like when I get in the shop, I take a picture. When I leave the shop,
Right.
I take a picture,
That's
just
it.
so I know, like if
Timestamp
I
everything.
miss writing it down, I can go back. But I've been pretty good with just writing it down. You know, you just write down your hours. Like I came in at 6 and I left at 8. You know, it's not like
I was talking to this old timer dude, and he was telling me how he just bids out jobs locally, and man, he cuts all that shit out. He's like, I used to do that, but now he just sees a job, he just says a number.
wow. Yeah, I've bid a couple, but fuck that. Especially with the shit I'm doing.
Right.
It's too,
It's crazy
sometimes
because you'll end up putting way more.
yeah, I
but-
don't even know with half this shit. I've been pretty accurate though too. Because sometimes I'll give them like a ballpark, like it's probably going to cost about this, and I was dead on my last 2 jobs, like pretty fucking accurate with how much time I spent.
I'd be curious to see, like, in if a couple of years you just take out your record keeping because it's a waste of time, and you're just like, no, I can see it, and I know that that's going to be this much. And
Yeah, I
then
mean, I like time and material though because it's fair. It's fair for both of us. Like,
I'm in the same boat, man. I'm all about fair.
yeah, like I'm not going to get screwed, and you're not going to get screwed. And I also feel like if I decide to do something insane in your shop where you're like, fuck, dude, like you can't spend 200 hours cutting this thing, and I want to do it anyway, then like I'll make those hours cheaper. Like
Yeah, there's
if I
there's
have to.
definitely
So-
some momentum that you build with the client, with the project, with the thing as it's happening. You get them excited, and then your process of recording it, sharing it, it shows the value, because it's hard to create value and just to talking about it. But being able to show people in real time is pretty sweet.
Mhm.
As
Yeah.
real time as you can get.
Yeah, and they see the fucking hours too. Like some of these people, because I have a deadline, like this last one, and they saw me working at 2:00 in the morning. So it's like they know that I'm not fucking around.
Yeah.
They're following on the stories and watching the.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we can't wait to pay for him while he's on his stories and on his phone.
Yeah. Or they're just like, shit, these hours got to be insane. Like just fucking.
probably
16
like,
hours.
oh.
I'm like, I work a 16-hour day today, and they're like, fuck. And they see like I was sanding rings, and they're like, oh my god.
I'm sure they love that shit though. All my clients, like I have people who put deposits down and they're like, can you make a video with this? And I'm like, no, yeah.
Yeah, especially Ricky. Like, I feel like people are specifically reaching out to you because they want to like be like, oh, to their friends, like, look what he's doing for us. Like, look at these videos,
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
Like,
my last clients for sure, especially the ones just now, they were definitely like that. and it's all handmade and all like, you know, all that shit too.
Yeah.
And when people like to talk about that stuff when you're working with like a custom artist or somebody specific like that, and it goes hand in hand with your whole aesthetic of like that fun house, Pee-wee, like we were talking about that like interactive vibe of everything that you're making and your personality and your character.
They get videos at the end too. Like I don't charge.
I was gonna say, do you give them like
free
flash
advertisements
drives
for
at
them.
the end or something?
What was that?
You like give your client like a flash drive of the whole build at the end or something? Like
No, but it's still online, and sometimes they'll share it on their accounts and shit, you know. And for them, that's like insane advertisement. It's fucking free.
I was gonna say
you know?
you're generating advertisement for them. Plus,
People
I
love
assume
being
people
on
are trying to
camera.
visit things too
Yeah.
now. Like, are people trying to visit the locations of each project that you've done?
Yeah, recently I had someone who accidentally like went to like 3 of my places, and then they realized that they went to all 3 of my places out here, and they kind of like, you know, it was
we've been
fun.
talking about road tripping and hitting all of them out there.
Do it.
Come skateboard with you.
Yeah, I'm
That's
like,
really
we're
the
gonna come
only
up,
reason.
we're gonna skate, we're gonna see
Hurt.
all the places he built.
This reminded me and motivated me. Now I have to go see the one by my house. I have to go see it's Miracle Eye, right? That's what it's called.
You should see it before you leave for sure. Well, not before you leave, but before you like, you know, you should just check it out while it's there and you're there.
Yeah.
That place is unreal, man. That
I
shit-
should go grab something before I go to camp.
Yeah, dude.
Is that her first brick and mortar? Was she like doing everything out of her house before the Miracle Eye?
Yeah, and she's a fucking machine too, you know. And that's a cool gig too. She's got her whole family, she supports her mom and her aunts and everything doing that, and they all work in the back making it all. Like her mom's like this like master seamstress, and she designs it and her mom makes it. It's a fucking cool gig. It was a
super
cool family thing to be a part of, and weirdly like we went out there and to install, and it's not like I'm not that like, I don't know, I'm not a good businessman. So I wasn't like, I need a hotel or whatever. Like I probably should have done that. She was like, you can stay at my parents' house. So me and Lizzie were like, okay, cool, whatever. We go to her parents' house and we're sleeping in like her twin bed, like with her family. It was a fun experience.
Dude, that's what's up there. That's like, I mean, you wouldn't be having these awesome experiences if you weren't doing your own thing. So
yeah,
just keep those coming.
Hell yeah, man. I'm living the dream right now.
Justin, what's something that you want to do for the future? Like, what is your ultimate goal?
Well, I love what I'm doing right now as far as like making the big signs, like the family name signs and shit. Like I guess all the scroll saw work that I do, I feel like that's a cool place where I feel like I feel comfortable like making a piece that people would want to put on their mantle or something like that. I do like the idea of still like doing scroll saw work for like local businesses, like bigger stuff, higher end clients, as far as like 3D art goes. But I still want to get into like making tables and furniture, more lucrative type of items, because doing this full time, it's pretty tough finding like woodworking things for, I mean, all of my stuff is all commission based. So it's like most of my things that I get are typically something that's functional that somebody needs in their home to make their life easier for whatever reason, or it's an art piece. But I've also like, I kind of got my foot in the door with like my favorite local restaurant. I'm just doing some basic stuff. Like I'm redoing their community tables. It's like the most popular beer garden in our neighborhood.
Oh, nice.
So there's like 2 10-foot long tables, and I'm just finishing basic stuff. Gonna get Total Boat involved, do some halcyon, but like stuff like that's really cool for me right now. Like just building those little relationships. I'm not trying to like be all about Total Boat. I'm not trying to be an affiliate, but I do like the idea of somewhat working with a few brands, just a few. I'm not trying to get carried away.
Just building relationships.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, just getting this shop more dialed in. I'm trying to get it so that I can be as efficient as possible from my garage. I never realized I hate leaving the house. I was just listening to your guys' podcast the other night, or today maybe, about how you guys kind of go back and forth between your houses, and like, you know, you might have a job where you have to do some finishing work, so you're sleeping at someone else's house the night before because you don't want to do dust or whatever, you don't want to make any messes. But man, I just feel like every job that I've been doing lately, I've been just acquiring different tools and like shit that I would never have bought from day one. So it's like now I'm at that point where I can do a spray booth in the garage and just pop it up super quick. But it's just those like baby steps, just those like, I'm just slowly getting through like the murky waters of like, it's scary to start your own woodworking business. Am I going to have enough business? And to the point where it's like, I have all the business now. I'm building the business. And now I'm to the point where I'm just trying to get everything like cleaned up. I want to get it like all more efficient, and I'm very happy with the tools.
Okay.
That's where we're at right now, just trying to like clean it up.
And just
Yeah.
get organized like online and stuff.
Yeah,
We
the-
definitely did it with the
But
shop.
Yeah.
Like the whole like we like
Your
was it last
your
summer?
site is like on point though, isn't it
Mhm.
now, Justin?
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm cool with making websites. I've done, I made like 3 now using Squarespace. And when I was in the restaurant business, dude, if there's one fucking thing that you get all day long, it's phone calls with questions, and you have to like bob and weave between so many stupid questions. And if there's anything I learned, it's have a website, have everything on the website, just give them a place to get their information. So getting that locked down was cool. It definitely points people in the right direction, but now I'm just navigating silly questions like, how much is this going to cost? Like my most popular thing that I have right now on my page is that 7-foot long last name sign that says the Peels. I've gotten
Yeah.
like 40,000 likes, some like, I don't know how many hundreds of comments, so many messages, but everyone says the same thing. My last name's Perez. My last name is da 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 da. How much would that cost? And I'm like, it's $3,000 plus tax, probably a little bit more because your last name's longer. And it was like, and then I
Yeah,
have to
you're
count
gonna
the wait
take it down
time.
by letter or something. If that's
It's
something you're
true.
gonna do, like
It's just silly though, because it's like at the end of the day, like if you want that, I mean, I could see myself maybe narrowing down a couple designs, but at the end of the day, like that was custom choices based on the aesthetics of that person's home. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
know. I really get caught up where I don't want to have to just be like, okay, you can choose the natural tone. There's white frames, there's black frame. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd rather have a client reach out to me and be like, yeah, I want to invest this much. I actually have the one client that's like waiting for design stuff, whose wedding is on the 18th or 11th. Can't remember. Anyway, it needs to be done next week. But he's super cool about the design. He wants it to be a little bit different, but even it's exhausting. It's
Yeah.
exhausting getting the designs across. And like at the end of the day, like too, I have basically between 8 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. to do any solid work because of the kid.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I know. I hear her.
Uh-oh.
and then
Oh, it's so good.
7:30 p.m. till, if I'm lucky, 10. So it's like there's the hours that I thought that I'd have in a day to get shit done. It can be really tough to find. So yeah, man, I'm just, at the end of the day, if the client is willing to pay the hourly rate, if I squeeze in my 30, 40 hours in a week, wherever they are, it's fine. It all adds up, but it's just like,
Yeah.
What's your dream job if you remove all like the money chasing and shit? What gig would you want to do like as a dream or a passion?
this is it. It's just making shit out of nothing. Like, as far as like, I love the commission idea of just like making random stuff. That's just my go-to. Like I hate being boxed in. So like my business plan essentially is for like the first like 3 to 5 years is just to take in all the commissions.
Yeah,
And
brand
then-
new commissions, brand new projects.
Yeah.
Nothing complicated. Yeah.
Yeah. And then eventually,
That's
like, I don't know, like these are pretty dope. Like these whole like rental things, like
Those are cool.
maybe I'll start specializing in that because
Designing and
tap
building.
into it. No, I mean, I've always been impressed with like hand carving, like whittling shit to framing houses, like everything in between. But it's like, it's the little detail stuff. So I don't know if I can just stay in this niche of, man, like I'm in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. I've got like 500,000 people in this like tri-valley around me. So like I only need 1 or 2 clients a month. So like at the end of the day, when I'm talking to like whoever I'm talking to, these projects are just like, they're all so random. Like none of them are the same. And what's crazy is that they typically all come from Instagram. So like the other day, I picked up a deposit for a dining table because somebody saw a 15-second story that I made about live edge wood. And then then I got a fat deposit.
Yeah, they're like, can you do this? And you're like, absolutely.
From a total stranger. So it's like, man, this is like the craziest thing. When you're younger, people need to tell you that you should just follow your passions because people are going to find you and circulate around you.
Yeah.
And
that's right. That was going to be my point, because it sounded like when you explained what you were doing, seemed like there was a lot of fear and a lot of oh, I'm chasing this, and it's just like, well, what do you want to do?
No, this
just
is what I want to
that.
do, but what the hardest part is time management, or at least just communicating with the clients like, yo, this shit takes a while.
You got to not be afraid to disappoint people, with it's better to disappoint them up front to be than to disappoint them stretched out over a long period of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Justin's literally the nicest person I've met on the internet. It's gross. It's disgusting. He never wants to let anyone down. Never wants to, he's I met him. He had 200 followers. He's like, oh yeah, I don't know, I'm real modest. Look at my sign. I'm like, dude, it's the best fucking sign I've ever seen on the internet. I don't understand. Where did you come from? Who the fuck are you? And then we just got chatting, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna blow the fuck up. You're gonna kill it. And
I remember he was
you're gonna do this full time. You're gonna fucking kill it. Show your face on the internet.
Yeah,
you're a beautiful man. And look, he starts showing his face. He starts getting clients. He's gorgeous.
Man, it's nuts, dude. It's just crazy. I think ultimately, it's just you are your own, biggest obstacle all day long.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So I just get in my own head about a bunch of bullshit that I don't need to be.
That's me.
But it's,
now, is that Ricky? Because I feel like you portray
Ricky is Ricky is let me not outsource anything like a fucking idiot. And let me not respond to emails. Let me not do my taxes. Let me not.
Ricky,
self-sabotaging.
You should so we were doing a little browsing and chatting Morgan and I before, and I go, Ricky does everything the hard way. But that's what we respect about you.
That's what I said. Yeah, I respect that so much. You can find such an easier way to do something, but you do it the old school way or the hard way, and that's how I
just because that's the way I can do it right then.
Exactly,
I
do the same
CNC thing. I don't have anything against it. I just can't sit at a computer and figure out how to do it. I just need to just do it. So if that's gonna take me so much longer, then and that's the thing too, though. Recently doing that whole wall and that ceiling over there, I fucking wish I have people who have CNCs out here. I could have outsourced all of that,
Yeah.
But it was kind of I'd rather not call. That's the thing. I'd rather not call them up. I'd rather just start it, and then I'm starting it, and then it's a week,
It took a lot for me even to outsource parts of this sign with Carlina and Patrick and Andrew, because I was like, no, I'll just figure it out and cut it on my scroll saw. And
exactly. No, it just feels it's easier to not have to communicate.
And that mosaic night I just did, I did this whole thing, and Patrick's like, okay, talk me through your steps. When I was doing everything, and he's like, you could do this way simpler and way faster. And I was like, yeah, but this is how I know it'll work. So I'm not going to think of other ways because this is how my brain works right now. And he was like, you could cut 2 hours of your prep time, Carlina, if you did it my way. And I'm like, I don't know though.
That's literally me. I'm like, no, Dremel, I'll sit here with my files and rasps.
It's fucking stupid is what it is.
The way works, then do it. Yeah. But if there's ways around it where you can contact somebody for 5 minutes and then go work on something else, and that just appears at your house in a week, then you're set.
Plus, especially there was a point of time where the client wasn't paying for that, so I had to kind of eat it and do it.
Yeah.
But now my clients will pay for that, so why don't I outsource all the fucking paint? I don't want to paint ever. I don't want to do any paint or any paint prep. I should be passing that off to painters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to just start. We all have our things, but that's me. I need to.
It's scary.
I'm a micromanager too, though, because then there I go, hiring painters, and I'm all.
Yeah.
Fucking shit up right here, man. What's up?
Trust is a huge thing, there, man. Finding people.
People is hard.
Good help is hard to find.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Trusting
someone. I don't want help because I don't want to actually manage someone. But if I can hire a professional to paint all this, then why the fuck am I painting it? I don't want to paint it.
Yeah. I
I'm
get
sure
that.
you can
I just
find
want my sister
somebody.
to come help me, and then I just yell at her. I have like no fear to yell at my sister.
Yeah, I was gonna say my best friend will help me, and I'm like, it's not good enough.
Yeah. So I'm like, can I come help me? And then I have no problem yelling at her that she like fucked up bad.
Yeah.
Ricky, who was helping you with that bagel shop?
Oh, so that's a buddy that lives close over here, another woodworker. But he's in the same boat where he recently went on his own, and we're both carpenters by trade for like 20 years. You know what I mean? So he's been on his own doing stuff, but he wants to do more creative stuff, and he's building a guitar and all this other shit. But that was huge for me to like, because the deadline was impossible. I would have done it myself, but the deadline was like, I had to finish it that week, and it just wasn't going to happen. So I was like, fuck. And I knew he was floating around. So I was like, I reached out to him, and he came for 3 days, and it was like a game changer for me. It was like having somebody like to do all this shit with me and finish it fast. And it was like, I'm definitely doing that again. And he's like more of like a traditional woodworker. I feel like I like to design things and build them, but then I don't want to like carefully like woodwork. You know what I mean? Like I kind of hate that shit, especially finish. I hate it. So I built that record player, that vintage record player. And a bunch of people asked for it, but I don't want to build them one again. I'm done with building that. But he said that he would build them. So we might do a thing where, you know, I buy the material and everything, and he builds them, and then we sell them together, you know, where I make a small cut from just having the design, you know, basically.
Yeah. Like dealing with the people.
The audience. Yeah.
It sounds like you're ready
Royalties.
for somebody to manage you. Like you don't want to manage anybody, but it sounds like you need somebody to
No,
work with you.
Yeah, I need someone to, because I just want to be
Yeah.
like an artist and a
Yeah.
designer. Like I need someone to manage like all
Yeah.
the annoying shit, or someone to find like I made Dakota's bed a long time ago, and since then everyone's like, oh, do we have plans? Could you sell plans? You should get that made. Like I don't want to be on the phone. I don't want to be on the email. I can't do it. So I don't care. If, you know, I never make money from that bed. But if I had like a manager or someone who loves doing that annoying production shit, and they want to go find a place to make it and get plans going and all that shit, then and I get a cut, like let's do it, you know?
Yeah, it's like passive income once it's made then.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
making money here and there.
And
That's
that's the thing. I can't chase that. I hurt myself because I passionately just want to build something new. I don't want to chase like the money side of like, oh, let me see how I could squeeze money out of the Dakota's bed. Like, I don't care. It's over. I'll burn that.
Yeah.
It's over. Yeah.
I'll burn that thing. I could just see so much with that, with branding, making you like just the whole thing, like a whole line.
Yeah.
You can definitely, you're on the brink of expanding. You're ready for that.
Yeah, I need the person though, because it ain't coming from me. I just don't have that gear, you know.
Baby
Like my
steps,
dad
man.
is super
One thing at a
talented
time.
and everything, and I could see he's just like poor right now. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. I see the same traits. I'm like, he had opportunities, he just couldn't chase them himself.
Yeah.
That's such a good idea though, Ricky, if you were to ever get to a point to find somebody to help you with that side of things, because you could make and sell those plans, obviously, but it would appeal to a whole new, you know, all those people who make bullshit like farmhouse, like plans to buy and build, and then whatever, everybody has that in there. They're all making them in their garage. Like your whole aesthetic is different from any of that. It's more interactive. It's a whole different vibe. So people who want that like artisan vibe or whatever in their kids' room, or they want some fun, whatever it may be. But aside from the bed, I think that it would be a cool thing to consider, but definitely not something you can just like fit in and find time for.
Yeah,
you know?
and I could find the time. I could make the time. I have the freedom right now to make the time, but instead I go, no, I want to make this like vintage kitchen, you know? And something like this clock is super niche. Like we could sell that clock.
Yeah.
I don't want to make that clock again. I physically don't want to make it. Somebody wants to find someone else who wants to make it or wants to manage like a factory to make it and CNC it. Like
It's fine.
cool.
I'll work with you. It's fine. You gotta stop begging me. I mean,
Uh,
I already told you.
Tiff,
I already
I've been
told you I
looking for
quit my
someone-
job, dude. Let's do it.
I've been looking for someone that I can trust too, because it's annoying.
Yeah.
Because like I'm putting a lot of like on them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And at the end, put your name on it too.
Yeah.
Even those plans though, like if you could get somebody to come in, just measure your shit and make some plans for you and you buy it off of them, pay them hourly, you know, and then you just got that. It's passive income just flowing in forever.
You gotta
I'll
find
never make
someone.
that phone call though. Yeah.
You need
And then you got like Ricky.TeeVee build archives or some bullshit, you know, and like
Yeah.
people can just go in there and like it's like a glossary of all of your builds where they can achieve it themselves if they want to.
Ricky, we're gonna get rich together.
Sounds so great, Ricky,
It's
right?
like your very own Pinterest. Damn.
Yeah, exactly. So
Shit,
funny.
I gotta do it.
Justin, I really want to see you working with people with rental companies. I can see that being something and having them bring all that business to you, because I can just like, not even you renting the things out. I don't think you want to deal with that bullshit, but building things for people to rent out.
I'm down. Yeah.
Like that, like you could be the specialty guy.
Yeah. I've tried pushing, there's some local people out here in my neighborhood. I've definitely tagged them. But I think that this will be, I don't know. You always think that with your next project, like, oh, this will ring in, you know, whatever client, but I'm hoping that this will bring in some like San Francisco based rental folk, because where this idea came from, I think they're in LA. They had a couple of different versions of this idea, but man, the backdrop things like Andrew does, that's cool. I mean, but man, the amount of space he has for all those backdrops that he wants out, it's crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
But making them and getting rid of them and selling them to other,
that's what I was thinking.
that's cool. These things though, man, I'm excited to get some more like laser work done on here, just for the details in the video and putting it on the website and see if someone will buy one. Because at the end of the day, this is all 3/4 inch plywood, and I edge banded the shit out of it, and it looks so good.
Yeah.
I had my brother-in-law come over. He's never seen edge banding, and I was showing him what it was, and he was like, "What? That's insane!" I'm like,
such a bitch to do.
but I got even down to some 1/2 inch plywood, and I edge banded all the 1/2 inch plywood too. So it looks so nice. And I like making shit, like each of my things that I've been making since I'm like a new company. I feel like everything that I put out is like a little bit better than my last thing. And it's just expanding the portfolio. And like when I started my business, I talked to my brother about it, and he was like concerned about where I would drum up business, what I would sell, how would I make money. I'm going to sell signs, is what he was thinking. You're going to sell signs? Like, what the fuck? How are you going to make money? But it's cool. Like, I think that each thing just kind of feeds to the next. So wherever this goes and leads, I'm super excited. Because that's just how each one has gone. They're all just organically like fed into each other.
And that's how mine grown too. I mean, I was a sign maker for however long that was, you know?
Yeah.
And then it was just taking different opportunities and pushing other opportunities. Like, I want to do this, I want to try that. And then they just naturally grows into something, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like everyone was a sign maker in the beginning. We all followed Lizzie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone saw Lizzie and fell in love, and we were like, all right, well, I could try and do something like that.
Dude, Lizzie was doing something on the scroll saw though, where it was a technique that I wasn't sure about. I don't remember what it was, because I scroll sawed since I was like 10. And then I had it until I was like 16. And I straight up lost it, went to college and didn't survive those years. But I got my scroll saw again when I was 30 off of Craigslist, because I was looking for a way to make Christmas gifts, like bullshit Christmas gifts. So I was like, I want my scroll saw again because I'm 30 and I'm bored. And it's like October. It's like I'm gonna knock out some shit. This was like 2017 or something. But anyway, Lizzie was doing tutorials, man. She's doing a huge service for a lot of people who were like in between, like, you know what I think it was? I think it was the contact paper bullshit with the stencil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was making signs before I even knew the scroll saw even existed. And then I was a carpenter, and one of my carpenter buddies came by from California because I moved to Phoenix, and he was like, you should get a scroll saw. And I was like, what is that? And I looked into it, and then I found the whole community and all those people. And then I remember seeing Lizzie and seeing she was cutting small letters, and I was like, wow, you can cut them that small. So I started doing that, but I was actually doing like stuff with a jigsaw, and I was doing like, you know, my other earlier signs are like the material and everything's all crazy, but I was doing all that stuff before I even knew it was like I knew baby name signs were like a thing. But I found the community like randomly, you know?
Right.
I started making carving and making giant yard games. I didn't even make signs yet. And then I found the community and I was like, I need this tool. I need this.
Scroll saws are dope, dude. Like,
Oh, they're the best.
I
Yeah.
say I'm more in Justin's area when I was doing it as a kid because my dad used to use it to make crafts. So I was exposed to it super young.
yeah, I mean, we had the books. You had the book.
Yeah,
the
the books.
magazine.
Yeah, we're
It was
talking
the
about,
book,
yeah.
But like, which Easter bunny do you want to do?
Yep. Yep.
I didn't even know what a scroll saw was. I had no idea what a scroll saw was. We had like a Ryobi band saw in the very beginning, and it was bad. It was just all of it was ugly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But it was rustic.
When I was a kid, I had some at an expo, like woodworking expo. Some guy saw me coming, and he was a scroll saw sales rep. Fucking guy made a deer like the size of a penny, or like smaller, like half the size of a penny, and then he gave it to me. Fucking brought that to show and tell. I think I talked about this the last time I was on the podcast. Yeah. But it was like, holy crap. But you see all those guys that do that with the scroll saw or the bandsaw where they make the deer and they like flip it. And
Snodgrass, right? Is that his name?
He did it. He did it.
Alex
Small.
Snodgrass.
Dude, that's cool. But I got a scroll saw super young, and I was at home like whatever I could do. I was building forts in my backyard. My parents were divorced when I was young, so my mom was like, go in the backyard, build a fort. I don't fucking care. I was like 6th grade pouring concrete posts like 18 inches into the ground.
There you go.
But
Nice.
I was also using the scroll saw to cut through every single piece of wood you can imagine. Because-
I love the fucking scroll saw so much.
It's a good tool.
I started loving it even more too when I started trying to cut things other than wood or playing with things and being pushed. And again, Christine was the one who pushed me massively to do that because I'm like, what? No, I cut wood with it. And she's like, you cut whatever the fuck you want with it.
Okay, circuit board,
Pretty much.
whatever. I've cut everything on there. Vinyl records. Yeah, I've almost everything you can cut on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ricky, you ever gonna upgrade yours or what?
Never.
No,
I don't know. I use it so little now. It's kind of like, you know, I love sitting at it, but it's with all the display stuff, it's all bigger, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe.
When he buried his.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other night.
That whole video.
I don't have that video anymore, which like it's upsetting.
Oh man.
It's not in your archives or whatever on your
It's
story.
still on my Instagram, but it's such a shitty quality. But I
Yeah.
lost like a ton of shit when I lost my hard drive. So I definitely lost that one because like I want to post that one to TikTok or something. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That would be a funny one.
Yeah, I
would
love that one. That was hilarious.
So there was one question, and it was, what was it? You're like, what's the thing that you're most proud of that you've made so far? For both of you, I don't know who wants to go first, but
Justin goes first on this one because I got to think.
Most proud thing.
like, yeah, what are you most proud of that you've made?
Isn't it sad? I have to go to my Instagram to see what I posted.
No, it's not.
Portfolio.
So much shit. I don't even remember. Most proud.
I feel like Justin's Instagram is still a portfolio, whereas ours is just
Yeah.
like a closet full of shit.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep it as a portfolio as much
Yeah,
as possible.
dude, keep it as a
If it's a
portfolio.
funny reel, it does not go on the grid.
Yeah. Mine's
I'm gonna
just
say
on my
I'm gonna
bullshit.
interrupt him while he's waiting and say, when I created this, when I created the whole space age vanity thing,
Yeah.
this was like definitely a moment of where I did something that I almost didn't know I could do, like creating an actual vintage piece that looked authentically vintage,
Mm-hmm.
but was brand new, like should have existed but didn't. Just like this was a serious like both design and build moment where I was like how the fuck, and it led to so many other projects that I've done that here really that just look authentically vintage. People think they're vintage items, but they're not. They're you know, brand new designs, like the record player, like this tape, like this weird flower table.
That record player thing's so sick.
There were definitely like, and this was that first moment where I was actually like, fuck, like what? Like,
And was it a specific thing behind you, or just the whole?
so this whole thing was just an empty wall with some bullshit when you know. But I designed and built this whole piece basically with and that was the first. It's off right now, but that was the first working Ricky.TeeVee that looped the videos that Andrew helped me with. I reached out to him. I was like, dude, is there any way I can use an old TV to loop YouTube videos? And he was like, I don't know, maybe with a Raspberry Pi, blah blah blah. And then it snowballed from there. And then that's actually a flat screen TV behind an old TV. Yeah, false front. But after that, it was like that feature alone blew me away. Like I was just like, that's something like I almost dreamed about,
Yeah.
But all these features, this whole thing looks so fucking authentically like space age 60s, but it's also hyper functional. And it was just that moment where, I don't know, where I felt like I leveled up big time.
Yeah. Justin.
I'm just gonna go with the thing that's right here next to me.
I knew you were going to do that.
Honestly,
Yeah, that's
though,
what
it's
I
like
did.
the progression of all of my projects has led me to like, I'm really proud of this one for its own reasons. But I mean, looking at all my projects, it's a lot of signs. It's a lot of refinishing tables and shit. A lot of big signs. I like the family name signs. That big Peels one. It's fucking great.
I love that
But
sign.
I like this one a lot, honestly, because it's all, I scroll sawed all this shit out in one shot. I didn't use anything fancy. I scroll sawed all this out,
Yeah.
all the panels. Our girl, Seven Trees, Terry, she hooked it up and she got all this cane webbing for me. So it was just like, this was an opportunity where I got Terry to help me with the cane web. I went and I saw Andrew for the first time, hung out at his new spot. We talked shop and he got me the light that's inside of that thing.
Awesome.
But I mean, like, same thing, like this, I made to feel like a period piece, like the printer that's in here is like this Wi-Fi, portable instant photo thing, but it just, everything about it has got look to it. I think people are going to come up to it. They're going to inspect it.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those functional pieces where it's like Ricky's places, like you can immerse yourself in them and it's a feeling, it's a nostalgic feeling in your gut. So like those are the types of builds where it's like, I like that. So all the things that I've made, I feel like I've intimately kind of like had those personal connections with my client. They had that kind of like big like, oh, that's what I wanted, that's what I paid for, like this gives me that satisfaction. But the bigger projects that have a broader spectrum, like a broader appeal to the masses, it's like,
yeah, just like a table.
One sign at my local breakfast spot, they have my big Pleasanton sign. I get a little bit of love from that.
I feel like that was the first big thing I saw you do.
That was a big one. Yeah,
And
that was one of the first ones.
That blew my
that's
mind
cool.
when you were piecing it together. I was like, wow, I wasn't
That was
expecting.
insane.
I had no idea what you were building.
Oh man, yeah, that was a cool opportunity. And that was like a local restaurateur, super cool dude. But yeah, I mean, I had another brewery reach out to me the other day, and he wants an outdoor sign, and then I have Ricky's.
Don't do outdoor.
There he is.
Don't do it.
Don't do outdoor. Don't do
It's not
outdoor.
worth it, dude. It's not worth it.
I've done plenty of outdoor signs.
I
And had
know.
great luck.
And then I have
But
Tiffany over here.
I
Like,
carve
it's fine,
them.
use cedar.
Yeah. Use cedar. Use teak.
I saw this the other day, Ricky. I was like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
doing
you
them.
use cedar, and then how do you? Like, I understand cedar doesn't rot, but like,
You got to reseal it every year. You got to
And,
reseal it every single year.
Yeah, it fucking
Yeah.
Needs
sucks.
attention. Someone's got to gently, delicately rub the
Yeah.
dirt off of it every year and reseal it.
I
Like, no
put
matter
spar
what, there's no way
urethane of
around
it. I do five coats of spar urethane on top of them, and
Right, but still,
like
it's like that shit's gonna fail.
it will eventually.
It will.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and not even just rain too. The sun's a murderer. Yeah.
It kills everything.
yeah, it's the sun, really. It's not the rain.
What spar do you use, Tiff? Like what brand?
The Minwax, the green
so
can.
you used it and
It's
a table
horrible.
on a table, like an outdoor table,
Yeah.
and it got 6 months and it all peeled up
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
and flaked off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a
you gotta go
test
back
piece.
and chase it. It's not
Yeah.
fucking worth
Yeah.
it. It's not
Yeah.
worth it.
Well, that's
I
the hard
ended up
part. It has
making-
to be like in your contract if they want maintenance. Like that's a fee.
But even then you
Yeah.
feel like shit too, though. They feel like
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
You feel like shit.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
It is. It is.
Go
tough.
hire fucking.
Yeah.
I
someone
do
else.
that with my business logos, whether they're outdoor or not. I have a time period, a grace period where I'm going to come service them for you, check on them. I'll check the paint before that date comes. But once that date comes, if you did not pay for a service, any type of service package or any fee for me, I'm not going to come service them.
You guys have me want
idea.
to go visit all the outdoor signs that I've made.
know.
So I've got about 10 of them out there.
I got
Now,
like 2
what
on my
about
path, and I
Halcyon?
checked them out yesterday.
Yeah.
What about Halcyon or whatever from Total Boat?
I've never
I
used
mean,
it.
If
I
you
don't know.
check out the specs, if you're actually using it for what it's intended for, like outdoor, you have to reapply it once a year.
Oh, that's what it says.
Yeah, but I mean, it's intended for boats, right? But if you use it on a dining table, I think you're going to be fine. I just refinished my mother-in-law's dining table with it.
That's what I'm saying. Like a boat is out in the water. It's getting like direct sunlight all.
It's getting beat the hell up. So I think that, I mean, I honestly think that it would be fine on a table indoor. An outdoor table though, I think you're pushing it. I think you got to keep it covered.
Just don't do it. What's the fucking?
Yeah.
Don't do it. You don't have to
Now
do
we're
it.
trying to schedule to fix it because it's someone we know, and now it's like, okay, we have to like resand it, then stain it, let it sit, then finish it, and then do multiple coats and let it sit overnight.
Just do it
And they
so
don't live
nice.
close.
Make it look so good. They want to keep it inside. That's what happened to me once. I
Really?
I refinished that picnic table, and I did so much homework on the finish. I ended up putting like, oh my God, like
I
over
remember
10
that picnic
coats.
table. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that picnic table.
But anyway, he ended up keeping it inside as his dining table.
Really?
Wow.
And I did all the work to make it outdoor.
The shelves are supposed to be in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Justin, did you ever think about doing with all these breweries and stuff, like doing out like wall treatments, like indoor?
Well, I'm limited though on like what I can do on site or off site. I can't really do anything off site. I have to do everything has to be built here, and then I can't really do any installations.
Why can't you do like an installation, like semi installations?
Insurance, liability.
Yeah.
I don't have any of that shit.
Well, you're in another state.
Yeah.
I'm in California, and when I do them, I usually you can just get like a general waiver. Like,
Right.
I'll send you something if you need it.
Like I'm not a professional type of deal. Yeah. No,
and also waiving that you're not going to do anything if you get hurt while installing there. I mean, both ends.
Yeah, like
you need to
smashing
protect both ends.
through your lip.
So yeah, like this is the perfect, honestly, that's like one of the perfect things I could hear right now. Like with this community and like with this group, getting shit like that pushes me along. Like I actually just learned about those little waivers like 2 or 3 weeks ago because of some of the work a realtor was doing inside of one of their houses, and I found out that none of those guys had their licenses. I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, oh yeah, they just signed a waiver. And I'm like,
who's checking it though? Who's checking it?
Right.
It's
I would
just in case something happens. You know what I mean? If something happens, they go to sue you, you got your ass covered.
Yeah, I guess in a bigger place, I work in a small town, so it's kind of like, you know, plenty of people are just like, whatever. There's no like, you know, the business aren't.
I have a background with legal too, so I think that's where mine comes from. I just think of all of those things, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna be in a ladder, so I'm like on this person's property, so I'm gonna think about it. But I haven't always done it. It's not something I do every time. It's I kind of gauge it with like people. Like, all right, you seem like a person I need to watch my ass with. So
well, then like honestly, then back to that question, Ricky, I would be all about that, because ultimately I would love for people to walk into our favorite breweries and to see me hanging something on the wall and just, you know, see my brain on the back of my sweater, and they already follow me on Instagram. It'd be dope to be out in the field.
Yeah, and also not even just like, you don't have to be, when my installs, most of the shit's in the shop, and then I install for a couple of days or whatever. You don't need to do the whole thing in the field the whole time. And also when these breweries approach you for signs and shit, you can easily talk them into like, no, let's do this whole wall, let's do this. And you come up with a fucking cool design, and they'll let you do it. And it's like, you know, that's the
trust your opinion as an artist. And it's also really cool, I think, like for Ricky, like people are traveling to like come see your spots, like the places you built. Like that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And you sign all your walls and your pieces, and you sneak your name in there, so people are tagging and taking photos, and it's just sick to see it come to life. And then in living form, people are utilizing it. People are the experience has come to life. Like
you know those like TVs I make for each project. You'd be surprised how little like following I get from that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I get fucking 3 follows a day if I'm lucky. You know what I mean? So it's like these, I know for a fact these aren't doing anything. These like little TVs I make that say like,
the customers that are going in there, they don't even know how to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, QR codes up in a spot and nobody's ever used it once.
Yeah, exactly. It's business owners though. When I do get it, they're like, oh, I saw your work at blah, blah, blah. And I saw, you know, it's always business owners. It's never like just people come in, they take their photos, and they don't give a fuck who built it. You know.
But that's cool though, because you want those business owners, because they're gonna want to do business with you.
Yeah, they're gonna want. That's where it comes from. Yeah, they want to do.
And that does happen too during installs too. You have like with the hair salon one I did recently, I got 2 more business logos in that plaza just from people seeing me install it there. Like,
Nice.
Wow.
I feel like once you're there kind of like socializing it and doing it and putting your work on the wall, like you said, Justin.
Yeah.
I avoid installs just for the same fear that Justin has.
Yeah.
Like
legal
I don't
stuff?
want the legal stuff. Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
hate.
I stayed away from it just because my
unpacking and fucking I hate that shit.
Yeah, I just said
Yeah.
my insurance guy was just like, don't do installs. I have a great insurance
Oh,
rep.
God.
Earl, if you're listening, what up?
Earl.
I remember you talking about him before.
Dude, Earl's the shit. Earl Jones. I'm gonna send him this clip.
Earl Jones.
Earl's the man. No, but like he was just straight up with me. And I actually was referred to him by my material supplier, Bay Area Redwood.
Nice.
Because when I was getting my shit together, my material supplier would have me go out and do jobs. And he's like, who's your insurance? I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, this guy comes to bat for you, kind of a thing. And he gave me Earl's information. Yeah. And he really
Earl's just boxed you in though. He's got you scared in the fucking shop. You won't even leave.
he didn't box me in, but
He isn't helping you out at all. He's got you fucking chained to that bench.
Well, don't listen to that, Earl. Don't listen to that, Earl.
No, Earl's keeping me
Earl,
safe,
bro.
man. He's keeping me safe. He's making sure that I'm not putting myself in any like questionable positions, like where I get in trouble.
Every
Yeah.
position you ever put yourself in is questionable.
It's probably a good idea. And you know what, Ricky, we both sound like we live in, like, I'm in LA, of course, but I'm in a smaller town in LA and it's a very artsy, small business supporting town. So like anytime I'm doing anything around here, I don't worry too much. I try to gauge people and I do have that form in case, but
Yeah.
like, I think it helps to be somewhere that like, people just don't give a shit.
Yeah,
People
I mean,
don't
in
give
the
a
Bay Area, that's a lot of bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Around here, I mean, I'm in the
Yeah, well,
woods,
looky
but
loos.
I feel like if I scratch their floor with my ladder or something, it's a lawsuit. Like,
This Jersey's like that.
I don't want to
like
have that client.
I'm literally, I feel like that's just all of Jersey.
It
Right.
is. Jersey's like Sue happy.
It's crazy.
That sucks.
No, we got good
Scratch
clients.
the floors. Not
Yeah,
that
like,
way.
oh, you smudged my floor with the bottom of your ladder, like game over. Your life's over. Your business is gone.
I'm gonna ruin you.
It's like,
It's nice being on site for the, like when I'm working here, for like the compliments, because they, after I do something like this, I leave and I don't know anything about it, you know?
Yeah.
But when I'm here, sometimes like they'll, you know, people come around and they're like, oh, wow. It's like their comments are funny because sometimes people are blown away and then sometimes people are like, this place is pretty cool or something. They'll have these like super underwhelming comments. It's fucking funny.
I have my one sign in one public place, my Pleasanton sign, and I go to that place like very seldomly.
Uh-huh.
But every time I'm in there, I'm like listening. Like, is anybody talking about my sign?
Hey, you guys see this?
Never.
You guys see this? Who did this? This looks cool.
I've
that's how
never.
I
It's
was at
nothing.
Vivek in the brewery.
Yeah.
People will like send me pictures and like tag me in it, and I'm like, oh, you're there.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. Yeah.
That's how I am with the 11/11 events. When we're there, I'm just like, people are talking to me and I'm like looking up at my logo, like,
Yeah, did you guys see that?
I
It's
fucking
fun
did
shit,
that.
man.
Yeah,
It's cool
it
shit.
I
is.
to
said
be
it to
able to-
Garrett like 10 times last week when we were there. I just kept walking by and I'm like, fucking made that. And he's like, yeah, I fucking remember. I'm like, yeah, you know, fucking made
Does
that."
anybody else just stare at their work? Sometimes I'll just stare at my work for like 2 hours after.
Oh,
it's done.
absolutely.
This is the
Bro,
best part. This
I
is
don't know if
why
you
I
guys
do
can
this, is
see.
because I genuinely enjoy making it, looking at it, and then giving it away, and then starting something new.
Yeah.
That's why I started my Instagram, just to keep a record of it.
Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
ship it out. I have 3 tables around me, dining room tables full of signs.
Gosh, you-
Yeah, Morgan just keeps hers. Like,
They're all here still, everything, and I need to ship them.
But they're fun to keep around, though, right? Like when I
need-
have
Hang them on. Sometimes I hang mine on the wall and just sit there like staring at them. Like,
If I go to package a sign up and I don't have to dust it off, it hasn't been sitting here long enough for me to stare at.
hey, my client for this has just left the town or like left the country for 2 weeks, so I get to enjoy
oh,
this. in the
dude, you
garage
get to
for, like,
stare
2
at that for
months.
2 weeks.
Yeah, how dope.
You're fucking lucky, man.
I know.
Hey.
I never get to enjoy
He's all
it.
taking
I
selfies.
made so many videos where like I have a sign that I'm getting ready to send off, and I'll just like be sitting there in a rocking chair next to the sign, like we're just hanging out.
gotta put that in your living room.
Because I felt
It's
crazy
like,
actually. I'm glad that we all do this.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, dude, I was like, it's fun to stare at your stuff. And then like Ricky, you've said this before, and I totally relate, but you're like, how did I do that? How did I
all the
make
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
I even
I
with
don't
this,
even
I'm
know
like,
like
how
the
did I take that?
process. I'm like, how did I like, how did they build that? That's what I feel like. How did they build that?
Yeah, always trying to break it
That's a
down
good feeling.
backwards. Yeah,
All right, well, we're all
Where
getting
did it come
tired,
from? Dude, some of the
guys.
ideas are like, how
They're
the-
not. It's like 4 o'clock. there.
Listen, the East Coast people are starting to actually no, Ricky can go though. I think their last
going
one,
till
last
2.
one was like 2.5, 3 hours. But
Oh, we've
I
been
wanna,
on it for 2 hours, huh?
yeah, we have. I want to thank you guys all for coming on and chilling. And like you
course.
said, Ricky, I do want to start doing, one-on-one interviews. So I do want to have you guys back individually occasionally, just because I think it's a lot of fun to keep building our community. Plus, like, look how we can all work together and make things happen or inspire each other,
Yeah.
answer questions.
yeah.
I love it. Like,
We're all learning
Yeah.
from each other. It's awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Hey Tiff, you're doing it though. Like you're setting us all up.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
I'm
You're
trying,
you
man.
missed a week.
You're the
You missed
heart.
like 2 weeks.
You are literally the heartbeat of this community.
Yeah, you're
Thanks, man.
sewing it all together.
Yeah, like I told them too, is like I'm finding all the weird missing gaps in between things that need to be like interconnected, and it's all coming together. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
So
Yeah.
You're killing
Cool.
it.
thank you guys.
All right. That was definitely an experience. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Huge thank you to the patrons, Terry Guerrero, Lee Oman, Matthew Gerard, B.A. Reeve, and David Wirt. Really appreciate your support. Again, if you want to support the show, it is patreon.com/makerconversations. And of course, if you enjoy saving money, NIGHTCARVER10 in all caps will get you 10% off at Sabretooth, and NIGHTCARVER will save you 10% on wall control. Have a great day.